Alright guys, it's your boy here, of course. Just getting stuff set up for the stream here. Alright, so yesterday I asked you guys to send in your units for me to take a look at, and we have so many requests here. Not only in here either, like, this was the thread that I asked for in the community tab, but then if we head over to Discord, like, I don't know, I want to say like 30 plus people from Discord, and then around 30 people in here as well, so we got quite a lot of units to take a look at. Alright, we got Superior J in the chat. What's up, my dude? Hey, Tacho, first time ever being on your stream. Well, thanks so much, man. Hopefully you can make it to some more. I am trying to stream a lot more often now. Obviously, I was doing it pretty frequently before, but then I got really busy not too long after the lockdown ended, the first lockdown, so I'm trying to just get back into it now. Alright, we got Sketchy Peeper, what's up? We got Lopez73, what's up, my man? Meat saying 2 years, I have lost track. Yeah, man, it's been a hot minute. Okay, so I guess we'll start with the YouTube ones first, and then after that we'll move over to Discord and take a look at the Discord ones. Alright, so our first unit, we have Baileyth over here with a bar tree. He's giving a thumbs up sign, so let's take a look at this bar tree here. Okay, so let me actually open it in a new tab so we can get a good look. Alright, that should be fine there. Okay, so we have here Spring Bunny Bar Tree, courtesy of Baileyth for this unit. Okay, also, just in the interest of making things easier on me, I have a couple of tabs open here so we can cheat a little bit and see what some of the weapons do if I don't remember. Or also some of the passives. Well, for the passives, I pretty much have those memorized, but some of the weapons, there's been so many that it's a little tough to keep track of all of them. Okay, so we have the Winter Rapier Plus. That was Manuela's weapon. Let's just go ahead and see what that did, because I don't remember. Okay, Winter Rapier. Alright, doesn't matter what refine it's got. Okay, so if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack and defense up 5, and a bonus to attack and defense during combat, equal to the current penalty on each of those stats times 2. Okay, so it's similar to like a Pledgian weapon there, except it's current penalty on your stats, right? Or, hold on, let me just make sure. If unit is in 2 spaces, gets a bonus to attack and defense equal to the current penalty. Okay, so it's more like attack and defense unity, I guess, than the Pledgian effects. So if this bar tree has any debuffs to attack and defense on him, then this weapon is just going to power him up. So not a bad choice. Attack and defense, of course, good options for this bar tree. His best stats are attack and defense. Speed is actually getting there a little bit with all the investment that we see, and of course the plus speed on the weapon. We have Darting Breath, we got Null Follow-Up, and Steady Posture. So it looks pretty good to me. I can see this actually working out pretty well. Joint Hone Speed, I think that's one thing I might offer to change there. I'd probably go like Joint Drive Speed, or maybe even a Menace skill could probably work out pretty well. Like Speed and Defense Menace, or Attack and Speed Menace, something like that. It's going to actually give him a little bit more speed as well, because it debuffs the foes a little. That's really the only thing I think I would change here. Maybe, like, Kestrel Stance 3 as well, but I mean, the defense is definitely nice. It's going to help him out. Yeah, so pretty good looking bar tree here. Noontime with the breath combo as well, so there's not really too much to change. Maybe, like, if you're supporting him with units that can grant the breath effect, like Duo Hilda, for example, or like Brave Lucina and stuff, you could probably try out a different seal. But if we're looking at him in a bubble, this seems to be pretty much what I would do as well, with the exception of the C skill, like I said. So pretty awesome bar tree here. Very nice to see this guy built up. Dude, this dude's biceps. You can see the veins sticking out there. That's how you know he's juicing. It's like him and Ogma are just juicing like crazy. Alright, so we got... Let's take a look at the chat real quick. Our sweater puppies. What's good, Tasha? What up, sweater puppies? That's very cute, by the way, putting sweater on puppies. I approve of that. Alright, Kat is asking if they can send a unit still. Nah, we have so many to look at right now that I think I'm just going to limit it to this amount for now, because we also have Discord to take a look at as well. So, the deadline was pretty much once we started the stream. That's where the cutoff point is for the sending in of units, but I am going to do more unit reviews probably next week as well. I'll try to make it like a weekly thing, so you guys can send units in that week, and then we'll take a look at them then. Alright, so we have Akayuki up next. Let's take a look at his unit. Okay, we got Lacche over here. Alright, Lacche, of course, one of the favorites. Okay, so her weapon... I believe it negates her penalties, or what was that Shannon's weapon? I think Shannon's weapon negates his penalties, and then Lacche's negates the foe's bonuses, but just to be sure, I'm gonna double check that, because I don't remember. Okay, so she gets -1 special trigger. If her speed is better than the foe's speed, or if the foe has full HP, she gets all stats up 4 and nullifies the foe's bonuses. Okay, so I was almost right there. Also counting the -1 cooldown for Regnal Astra, which is great, and the all stats up 4. So she still holds up pretty well. She came out at a pretty good time where her base speed was nice, and then I don't really have a problem with this unit's BST overall. It's just the perf weapons now for these sword units are getting out of control. So maybe a little bit of age there, but Regnal Astra is still something that she has over everybody else. Outside of the units that share her holy blood, of course. Alright, so we got also attack speed solo 4, spurn 3, times pulse, very good with Regnal Astra, and then attack and defense solo 3. Okay, let's see here. Okay, maybe instead of attack and speed solo 4, it's better to use attack and speed unity. So that way she can kind of get like a similar effect that Shannon gets where he nullifies his penalties. But instead of nullifying penalties, you're just turning penalties into a bigger bonus with the unity skills. I know attack and speed unity is pretty rare though. It's only on Brave Marianne and also one of the units we got on the recent banner. The Sonya banner with Sonya and Tharja duo. So, I mean, for sure, for now, attack speed solo 4 is going to work out just fine. Spurn 3 for the beast skill. Yeah, I guess Spurn is fine because it's going to power up Regnal Astra a little bit. Close Call is also an option, so you can have like a quasi version of the Kanto skills where you can attack the foe and then get out of the way. Actually, Close Call became a little bit better now because, of course, we just recently got Kanto Control on Mommy. So, I don't think Kanto Control has any effect on Close Call. So, you'd be able to use Close Call and get out of the way, and there's nothing Mommy can do to stop you. So, that's another option as well, but Spurn works just fine. Times Pulse, I think, is probably the ideal option for the C skill, and then attack and defense solo. Does she want anything else? I mean, you could give her attack and speed solo, but seems like her speed would already be a little overkill there. I don't know how necessary it would be. That's probably what I would do, though. I'd probably go like attack speed solo and then close call, so she can play her phase a little bit and then close call herself out of the way after she attacks, and then you can dance her out of the way further or reposition or whatever. But very awesome unit, though. Very nice to see Lacche at +10 there, and with very nice investment. Okay, so next unit we have Ness Earthbound with a cracked Raven. Alright, let's take a look. Raven's Resplendent art is really good, by the way. One of the better Resplendent arts. Anyone with the Hell attire is just flames, if you ask me. The Hell attire is definitely my favorite. Alright, in the chat, we have Cyx War asking, did this just start? Yeah, for the most part, we just started. We only looked at 2 units so far out of like 60 plus that we got to get to. Alright, Hyoshi's asking, how do I join the Discord? There actually isn't a Discord. So, the people that I asked to send in units, they had to send me a friend request first, and then I accepted it, and then they were able to send me their units as we see here. So, we have quite a lot of units to look at in the, whatchamacallit, in my Discord here. But I'm going to try to do it a little better next time, because having people submit units on YouTube and then also on Discord was probably not the best way to go about it. So I'm going to try to find a better way for next time so it's not as hectic. But we'll see. Alright, so anyways, back to this Raven here. So we have Basilicos with the Life and Death Refine, of course. Life and Death 4 and then Life and Death 3. So what is this? Life and Death 10 Raven? Good lord, man. This man is at plus 10 with 20 flowers and plus 2 to all stats. He's got 19 res. That is something, man. Okay, then we got Frenzy times Pulse. Frenzy makes a lot of sense here. And then Moonbow for the special. Yeah, Moonbow probably works. You could probably run Glimmer too, because look at this guy's attack. This dude has base 82 attack. That is just disgusting. So, Glimmer might actually be more beneficial than Moonbow here. I'm not too sure. I'd have to double check that. Yeah, Life and Death 3. I don't know if you need Life and Death 3 for the seal. I get it with his weapon refine, but there's actually better options to raise attack and speed. For both the A slot and the Sacred Seal, I would say. You only really want to run Life and Death when you're trying to run Blazing Specials, so you get the visible attack bonus. So I would probably go like Attack Speed Solo 4, or Swift Sparrow 3, or Surge Sparrow even. Surge Sparrow would be pretty cool with Frenzy. Combos very nicely. And then Attack and Speed Solo 3 for the Seal, or possibly Blade Session as well. Blade Session's pretty good. It's a little inconsistent though, so I guess Attack and Speed Solo would probably be the way. Otherwise, very, very nicely built Raven there, and that 82 base attack, that is so raw, man. 67 visible speed also. God damn. It really hits different when you can see the stats. That's what I like about Life and Death. Like, when you're running Swift Sparrow and Solo and all those skills, you don't see the actual visible stats. So that really just puts it into perspective a lot better. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to Sergio's unit. I'm proud of her. Well worth the investment. Okay, Sergio, let's see what you got for us. Oh, Duo Mikaya. Or not Duo Mikaya, Brave Mikaya. Okay, so also Formid right there. So he Formid her, and he went for the plus 10, and he gave her a Floret. Alright, so a very loved Mikaya. That's fine by me. I also love Mikaya a lot as well. Okay, so Light of Dawn, her weapon was really good. I don't actually remember everything about it, so let's just double check here. Okay, so Light of Dawn, she gets effective against armor and cavalry, gets res up 3. At the start of combat, if foe's HP is over 75% or a penalty is active on the foe, she gets all stats up 4 during combat. Also grants a bonus to all stats during combat equal to the current penalty on each of the target's stats. So it's like a Pledgian effect, and then she gets all stats up 4 and effective against armor and calves. Can't forget about that. Alright, then they're explaining penalty there. We already know what that does. And if unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack and res up 6, and she gets a guaranteed follow-up. So a very powerful refine there, much like all the Brave units got. So what else we got? Reposition, Glimmer, Attack and Speed Catch 4, Attack and Res Far Trace 3, Attack and Res Menace, and then Attack and Speed Solo. Yeah, I guess just go balls to the walls with speed, right? Because what's the point in building anything else on her? It's not like she really needs it. I also love that he took out Yune's Whispers. Because Kanto is just that good, man. Who needs perf B skills when you could just run Far Trace? So, yeah, this looks pretty good. I can't honestly think of anything I would change here, because Attack Res Menace combos with the weapon and the catch skill very nicely. There's really nothing to add to this. And then Glimmer, of course, with effective damage, Glimmer just gets so over the top. I don't really... yeah, man, this looks like the perfect build as far as I can tell. Then we got Attack and Speed. So he's running all of this speed on her so that even if they have Wary Fighter or some kind of effect that can stop her guaranteed follow-up from the weapon, she'd still be able to double attack. So units where that comes in handy, like Fallen Edelgard and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty good, pretty powerful build, and one of the more, like, underloved units, I guess you could say. So very nice to see Mikaya getting all of that. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the Dom 275. Very proud of my Nino. She hits like a truck. Okay, very awesome. Nino, of course, just doing her best like always. All right, before we take a look here, let's see what's going on in the chat. All right, we got Nice Knowing You. What's up, my man? Tacho, did you see the legendary Marth doing 99 times 4 to Easter Maria, but she didn't take any damage? Really now? I have not seen that, actually. That sounds disgusting. How does that work? How do you have 99 damage on the status screen and do 0? That just sounds ludicrous. All right, we got Borja Arellano in the chat. Sorry if my Spanish is terrible. Easter Maria is insane. She can solo the Kata Infernal. Yeah, dude, I've been telling people that. That Easter Maria, she's all cute and cuddly on the outside, but then on the inside, she's just a murdering monster. You do not want to mess with that Maria. All right, also, Mod is saying, I'm glad I got Brave Mikaya from Hall of Forms. Yep. that was probably the best option out of that batch, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Brave Mikaya. I believe also we had Fallen Ike in there, too. Why can't we get units like that anymore in Hall of Forms? Why are we getting these random summer seasonals that have no freaking perf weapon? Like, come on, it's start giving us the meta goods like you used to. Okay, so let's take a look at this Nino here. She's got Iris's Tome with the Speed Refine, Reposition, Glimmer, Swift Sparrow 3, Lull Speed and Res 3, Attack Res Menace 3, and then Blade Session 3. All right, also another floretted unit, so we got plus attack and plus speed. Only 13 Dragon Flowers, though. I think she gets a possible 20 because she's from Gen 1. Yeah, though, the drip feed with the flowers really sucks. So, to get her to plus 20 with infantry, of course, like, one of the most usable flowers, I would say, because infantry gets naturally 5 more flowers than all the other types. It's going to be a pain in the neck to get the rest of the flowers for her. Okay, but otherwise, though, this looks pretty fine. Maybe instead of the Menace skill, I would go with, like, Attack and Speed Rouse 4, so you can get Null Panic. She has a Blade Tome effect on her weapons, so having the ability to nullify Panic when you have a Blade Tome is very nice. That's, like, one of the few ways you can stop Blade Tomes. Also, Lull skills as well, but there's nothing you can do about those anyway. Alright, then Swift Sparrow 3 seems fine. Yeah, there's nothing really wrong with this. It looks like it'll work pretty good. We used to run, like, danger builds with the Blade Tomes, like Desperation and then Fury 3, but maybe you could try that too, I guess. Like, Fury 4 for the Ace skill and then Fury 3 for the Seal and run Desperation. Because it would only take her, like, 1 attack to get into Desperation range after that. So maybe that's an option, but it is definitely better to focus on attack and speed. Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, looks pretty good. No complaints with that, Nino. All right, we got Professor Toad up next. It's funny to see how much damage reduction you can get. Okay, so we have Corrin there. Oh, this is a German Corrin, I think. Yeah, so I don't speak German, but I do know at least what the icons look like, so I should be able to figure it out. All right, Atem der Anen. That sounds like Egyptian, actually. I see Atem, and I'm just instantly thinking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is German, though. Okay, so her weapon, it was similar to the fallen female Corrin, wasn't it? Where she wants to be by herself to get a bunch of stat bonuses. I'm assuming that her special is her unique one that gives 30% DR. All right, we have Dragon Wall, we have Pulse Smoke, we got, I forget the name of this, but it has Distant Counter and Res Up 5. And then we also have the Mystic Boost Sacred Seal there. Okay, so a +7 Corrin, not quite +10, but still certainly good enough to get the job done. Alright, I can't tell what her boons are here. It looks like she might actually be neutral even. Does she really not have a boon here? That seems a little bit awkward, but I believe she has a plus attack super boon. Not sure why they didn't give her plus speed, but I guess extra attack makes sense with her weapon, or with her special where she gets the DR and bonus damage based on what she reduced. So this seems pretty good to me. As far as changes go, I don't really know that I would change anything here, actually. Pulse Smoke is really clutch against units with pre-built specials, like, for example, Brave Hector, who's running the Hardy Fighter build now. So if you have Pulse Smoke on one of your units, you can attack somebody and then reset the special on Hector, so you get rid of Aegis, and then you can clap them with a ranged unit after that. I'm not too sure how that's going to help this unit, though, but it's still a good idea there, and also pretty good against enemy units when you're baiting them. Yeah, and then Dragon Wall is based on res. 39 visible res, that's not the craziest, but she is getting res from her weapon and her A slot. So that'll probably make up for it. Yeah, I don't really think I would change anything here. The recovery is nice because her special can't be a healing special. I'm imagining for support you have someone with the breath ramping, like Duo Hilda or whoever, to make sure she can keep on using her special consistently. Otherwise, though, it seems fine. Like, it's very similar to the base kit for this Corrin, and it just makes her better overall. So, yeah. Not too bad. Also, she comes with Shield Pulse, but I agree with changing that for something else, because Shield Pulse doesn't really do much after the first turn. So definitely you want to give her something better for the B skill. Okay, so next up we have Dominique Snyders. Shoutouts to this guy, man. He's been hopping into the streams for a very long time, and I can never pronounce his last name, so forgive me, my dude. Since the opportunity presented itself, I wanted to showcase my pride and joy. Sadly mergeless until I grabbed the right amount of coins. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, okay, we got this guy. I was not expecting him to be the unit. Alright, so Fallen Dimitri. Alright, real quick, let's take a look at the chat before we dissect this unit. Okay, Hanako says Null Panic doesn't negate Lull. That is correct. It only nullifies, like, panic effects. So if you have blue bonuses and they get flipped into red debuffs, Null Panic would stop that from happening. Alright, Spikecraft says he likes running Fatal Smoke. I'm assuming he means that on Corrin, which is a good idea for sure, when she's fighting other, like, tank units like herself. Fatal Smoke would be pretty good in the Edelgard matchup. Alright, and then Luis Perez says, with Hardy Fighter plus negating Fang, that would be insane. That would be. Oh my god, can you imagine that? It's a good thing that Negating Fang is locked to that Corrin. Okay, so where were we? Back to this Dimitri over here. Dominique's Dimitri. So no merges, like he said, but he's got plus 10 flowers. We have plus attack and plus speed with minus HP. Ninja Naginata, that is exactly the weapon you want to run on this guy. I don't know what they were thinking with his base weapon. It doesn't even have -1 special trigger, which is super awkward. It just gives him, like, attack and speed up 6, and then I believe he gets bonus damage if he's not able to make a double attack, which is just super weird, so I totally agree with giving him the Ninja Lance instead. Okay, we have attack and speed ideal 4. We have Rouse, attack and speed 4, and then Flashing Blade 3, with Murderous Lion, which is a very nice beast skill. So I believe it inflicts speed and defense -3 on the foe, and then it enables Kanto on him. Kanto, very good because he's infantry, and normally infantry units can't have Kanto. So this is one of the easiest ways to get it. Alright, also with Rouse, he's getting Null Panic, and then that combos nicely with the Ideal 4, so that's very good. And then Flashing Blade to just clap him twice in a row with Glimmer, I guess. Yeah, seems pretty good to me. You could also try Gale Force, I guess. Like, I've seen people run Gale Force and then Times Pulse on him as well. But for what this is doing, I think this works out just fine. This would be a great wall breaker as well in summoner duels, because there's not many units that's going to be able to tank a hit from this guy. And then you just hit him twice in a row, you get Glimmer on the second hit, and then you Kanto away with Murderous Lion. So, pretty awesome unit there. Definitely nice to see this guy getting such a nice build there. Alright, we got Arashi Raiga up next. Here's my Valentine Catria. Or is it Valentine or V? V is Valencian, right? Not actually Valentine. Okay. So Valencian Catria, and he says, just need to get more merges on her. Big damage. Can't wait for her to get a weapon refine as well. Man, we are coming up on refines for this unit too, right? How far have we come with refines? This is so crazy to me. Okay, so her weapon, I believe it granted bonus damage, but I don't remember, so let's just double check that. Okay, so grants attack up 3. If unit's attack is better than the foe's defense, boost damage by half of unit's attack minus the foe's defense. Okay, so she does get true damage. She wants to have more attack than the enemy. We got Ruptured Sky, Sturdy Impact, Dive Bomb, Attack and Speed Rain, and Swift Sparrow 3. Okay, only 2 merges shy of the plus 10, so pretty good investment there. Alright, we also have the Broccoli Florets for double super boons there. Or actually, I don't even know what her super boons are, but plus attack, plus speed, that's going to work out just fine. Okay, so she's not getting any speed on her weapon, I think, right? She only gets attack up 3, so with the Rain and with Swift Sparrow 2, that's plus 9 speed to her. So we're looking at 53 speed. Honestly, I don't even know if that's fast enough. Because, like, the speed tier is like 65 plus at this point. It's getting really crazy. She's going to be a great tank buster, though. If she's attacking slower units, they're going to get shredded by this. So that's where Sturdy Impact really comes in handy. I don't know, though. I feel like it might just be better to run maybe Surge Sparrow. Can she get Surge Sparrow? Hold on, let me just check the restrictions on Surge Sparrow, because I know it's certain units can't inherit Surge Sparrow. Oh, that's the wrong skill we brought up there. Why is it not coming up? Alright, I guess I'll just search for Brave Erica. Okay, so Surge Sparrow. All right, what are the restrictions on this? Restricted to melee units. Okay, so it's not restricted by movement type, only melee units. So that's fine. You could probably get away with that. It combos nicely with Dive Bomb because you get the recovery. So you can stay above the 80% health for this. And then, I guess for the Sacred Seal, there's definitely better options than Swift Sparrow now. So like Blade Session or Attack Speed Solo, or even you could probably run like Attack and Speed Form even. So there's certainly more options to go with there. Yeah, Ruptured Sky. Yeah, Ruptured Sky probably works fine. I was thinking like maybe Glimmer to stack with the damage boost she gets from the weapon, but I think Ruptured Sky would probably still be a little better. Yeah, otherwise, looks pretty good. More so, if you're fighting mostly tank units and she's a tank buster, then I think this build will work fine. But if you want her to get the double on faster units, then maybe go Surge Sparrow over Sturdy Impact. Pretty much all there is to comment on, but a very nice unit and a very nice investment there. Almost completed. Alright, we got Haora up next. I will be giving her attack and defense Far Trace from the Divine Codes once I can afford it. I have a Bride Shanna on hand, but I'm holding off on foddering her since we will be getting that copy for free. Yeah, very smart. If you have copies of the units that are in the shop right now, then hold off on sacrificing the physical units and just use the Divine Codes. That would be the way to go. Alright, in the chat, we got Triton's Lullaby saying, just use Heavy Blade for the seal. Yeah, that would work too. With Dive Bomb, you could get Heavy Blade to insta-charge Ruptured Sky for the next hit. Alright, Zachary Facet is asking, how do we ask for a review? All you had to do was submit the unit in this community post here that I made, or send me the unit on Discord, but the deadline has unfortunately passed for that, so there's a lot of units we got to look at, so I'm going to try to cover them today. And then, of course, I'm going to open up another thing for you guys to send in more units for next week. But I have to figure out a better way to get that done before we do that. So just sit tight for a little if you have a unit you want me to review. Alright, we got Napato in the chat. Shoutouts to Napato. Alright, he says, hey, good morning. How are you today? I'm doing pretty good, man. Shoutouts to Napato. He always comments on my videos. He says hi all the time. So everybody say hi to Napato. Alright, let's take a look at this Mirabilis. Very nicely invested Mirabilis here at plus 10 with the 5 flowers. Alright, so Dream Flake. We got Whimsical Dream, Aether, Blue Dual Flying 4, Speed Cantrip 3, Attack and Defense Rain 3, and then Guidance. Okay. Alright, so the Rain skill... I mean, the Rain skill is great. Seems more like a scoring build, actually. Like if you were going to run her for Arena Mode. Because with the Flying Dual 4, that's going to raise her score a bit. As far as her A skill goes, none of the A slot passives are really built for support. So, yeah, Blue Dual Flying is probably, believe it or not, the best A skill for her. Unless you wanted to go, like, Close Reversal, but I wouldn't recommend that. She does have good defenses, so maybe Close Reversal could work. But there's, like, no point, man. Just run, if you want to do that, just run, like, a near-save armored unit. And then her default was Bracing Stance 3, right? So that one inflicts guard and then gives her both defenses up 6. That could be a good option, too. You could probably get away with that. But yeah, the extra HP would help, I guess. So Blue Dual Flying 4 actually probably her best A-slot option. Not even counting scoring there. Alright, so Speed, Cantrip 3. What other B skills do flyers get? Like, I actually like running Canto on them, but this Mirabilis is a ranged unit, so having Kanto on her, it's not going to give you Kanto Rem +1, which is the really good version of that. So if you use the maximum movement with her, you wouldn't be able to use Kanto with the trace skills for her, Far Trace. So probably not the best idea with her. You could run like the flyer movement skills like acrobatics and flyer formation. Those work out pretty well. And then attack and defense range for the support, like we all know. Oh, we actually got the hold skills now, right? So those activate in 3 spaces now. So that would actually be the best support option for her. If she gets attack and defense hold 3, whenever that comes out, that's probably what you want to give her. Because the other options for the C skills, like the flyer movement assists, like ground orders and air orders and stuff like that, you don't really need to run that. I would stick to running her for like stat support to debuff the enemies. So instead of attack defense rain, you could just give her attack defense hold whenever we get it. And then guidance is fine. Nothing really wrong with that. I actually love using guidance even to this day. So yeah, looks pretty good. More so of a support build, but that's how you want to play these flyers anyway. Alright, so of course, shoutouts to Sleepy Fairy there. Haora with his very nice unit. Alright, we got Drunk Kokogoat up next. I believe Kokogoat is from Genshin. Or there's a character that they call Kokogoat. And I don't know much about Genshin, but it is what it is. Alright, so they say, here's my weird female Baileyth, loosely inspired by that one legendary Chinese warlord's God Emperor Baileyth. Okay, so Lubu we're talking about. I'm hoping to +10 her soon before her Brave version drops. Still waiting to see her Brave Vault before dropping a Ascended Fruit on her. Alright, let's take a look. Okay, so we have here the base female Baileyth. Alright, Creator Sword, Ignis, Distance Stance. So that's what that's called. The distant counter with Res up 5. We got Vantage 3, Defense and Res Menace, and then Shield Session. Okay. That's different. I don't really see people running that too often. Okay, so Vantage. Why Vantage? Now, I believe the build that Lubu was running was to give them Miracle. So then it was like Miracle with support to get special ramping, and then because Creator Sword nullifies guard, you can consistently activate Miracle that way. So every time you counter, you attack the foes twice, you activate Miracle. Because the unit is so fast, they can't hit you twice, so they can't actually KO you through Miracle. And then I guess you would support also with the legendary male Baileyth to get passive null follow-up. So units like Bramimond and whoever can't cheat through the speed check to get the double on you that way. So the way Lubu was playing it was actually very smart. I don't know if Ignis really helps. Let me see. What else did they say? Alright, they didn't... Kokogoat didn't mention anything about, like, support units that they're running with them. But the way to play this build, from my recollection, is to run Miracle. And then you'd have, like, legendary male Baileyth support for null follow-up. And then some other units support to get the special ramping, so you can consistently use Miracle. There's so many options that can do that. So, like, Duo Hilda or Brave Lucina or whoever, just pick your favorite. And then Shield Session. This... You know, I thought Shield Session was going to be a lot more powerful than it ended up being in Summoner Duels. But it's kind of wonky, honestly. Like, the way Summoner Duels works, where you only move one unit at a time, it just... Shield Session just doesn't seem to work, honestly. It works a little better in Aether Raids, I would say. Where you know for sure, like, if you put it on a defense team, you know the enemies are going to attack with one unit first. So for that first attack, you just get a ton of defense. But outside of that, this one's just not quite as good as Blade Session, unfortunately. And then defense and res menace to raise her defenses. You could probably go red feud, actually. I think that would probably be the way. Because it's going to give her a better matchup against the other sword units. And that's basically how you want to play this. If I'm not wrong. Let me just see what the chat is saying about that. Alright, Michael Bailey asks, what's my favorite Castlevania? Dawn of Sorrow or Order of Ecclesia? I can never choose between those two. The DS Castlevania games, man, that was like the sickest trilogy ever. All three of those games are like 10 out of 10 games, man. Love the DS Castlevanias. Okay, the Golden Pine Tree is asking, are these going to remain open? Well, the topic that I have here, this community post and also the Discord where I asked people to send in units, those are not going to remain open because I'm going to do a different one next week so you guys can send in more units. But we are going to do more unit reviews next week, so if I don't get to your unit today or you want to send a different unit in today, then just stick around until next time and we will get to it. Alright, Triton's Lullaby also says, you could just give Legendary Baileyth Infantry Rush. Yeah, that's an option too, right? Infantry Rush gives you the ramping with infantry allies in 2 spaces, and you get null follow-up as well from him. So yeah, probably run the male and the female Baileyth, and you can do the miracle thing that I said there. Seems like it would work out, and then you don't need to run like all this defense anyway, because as long as you have miracle, you're still going to stay alive. So all you would have to do then is run Mystic Boost for the Sacred Seal instead. So Mystic Boost helps you out in a number of ways. You get back 6 HP to keep on spamming Miracle, and then also Mystic Boost gives the middle finger to staff units, because you shut down Wrathful Staff, and normally staff units with Dazzling Staff get through Vantage, but if they can't hurt you, then it's not even that big of a problem. So that would be my advice for this Baileyth. Okay, the next unit we have Andres Serrano up next. Here is my Merrick. Survived a Brave Erica once. Okay. Alright, Brave Erica, of course, is blue, so Merrick does have color advantage on her. Alright, but we got the +10 Dragon Flowers, +10, and then also the Ascended Florets. No Resplendent ult, though. Alright, plus attack and plus speed. We got a lot of HP there, actually. That's pretty good for an infantry mage. 61 HP. Alright, so Excalibur, Rally Attack and Speed Plus, Blue Flame, Green Dual Infantry 4, Lull Attack and Speed, Times Pulse, and Attack and Speed Bond. Okay, so Merrick's weapon. I believe he's effective against flying, and then he gets Attack and Speed up 5. But I don't remember his other effects, so let's just bring up Merrick's weapon real quick so we can double check. Alright, they have no info on Excalibur, so let's just bring up Merrick. Not the young Merrick. God damn it. Meant to click on the OG Merrick. Okay, so Excalibur. Let's take a look. Man, Game Press, the way that they, like, sort the stuff is kind of weird. It's really tough to find things. That's why I like this website a little bit more when I'm looking for something specific. I guess shoutouts to both of these websites. So Game Press and then also feyheroes.fandom. Both pretty good info tools for the game. Alright, but Excalibur with the effect, effective against flying, accelerates special trigger. If he's in 2 spaces of a magic or staff, he gets attack and speed up 5. Wow, that's... I mean, it really puts it into perspective looking at some of these older refines compared to what we get now. Like, nowadays, people get +10 to all stats just for existing. This guy only gets attack and speed up 5 if he's in 2 spaces of a mage or a staff. It's so unfair. We need to start getting like refines for some of the old units. Because they just need more than what they got originally. It's so uncool. Okay, but this build wants to keep him close by to allies because he's got Blue Flame and Attacking Speed Bond. I guess the Infantry Force skill is there for scoring, which is fine if you're running him for Arena Mode and you just want to play your favorites in there. But for this build specifically, I think you probably want something else. Maybe even Bond 4 or Unity, so you can still stay close by to allies and then get more stats out of it. Low attack and speed is probably a must-have on this guy because it raises his bulk and then helps him out in the speed matchups. Yeah, that's pretty much all I would say here. He has -1 special trigger and times pulse, so Blue Flame only needs to get 1 hit to activate. So if he's baiting the foes, then he is going to clap back with a Blue Flame to the face. And one cool thing about Merrick is that he does have pretty good defense for a mage. So yeah, like, it's nice to see a build on this guy focusing on this weapon as opposed to the other weapon. Like, most people just give him Dark Excalibur and they play him that way, like as a free-to-play version of Sonya. But this is about as good as you can do, I guess, with this particular weapon for him. As unfortunate as it may be. But, hey, he does have color advantage and type effective damage on the new Kata that we got. So, there is that at least. Merrick can clip Kata's wings. Alright, we got Superior J up next. Here is my NM Corrin build. I guess that means Ninja Male Corrin. I love using that guy. Oh, this dude, I remember him. He's got really nice artwork. One of the better artworks for a 4-star hero. Like, his special attack art. Let me just bring that up, because I love it so much. It's such a different thing. We don't really see arts like this. Yeah, so, like, the clouds in this special attack art just look so good. That is so awesome. I love it when the demotes have good art like this. The clouds almost look like the Akatsuki clouds from Naruto, if you guys remember that. Except they're not red, though. Okay, so Ninja Corrin. We got Ninja Naginata Plus, Reposition, Glimmer, Surge Sparrow, Null Follow-Up, Attacking Speed, Menace, and Flashing Blade. Okay, for this particular build, I think Ruptured Sky works a little better, because the ninja weapon doesn't have the best might. And Glimmer is good when you're stacking, like, true damage effects with more damage and you have a high base attack. But even though he gets true damage from his weapon, I believe it caps at, like, 4 points or something like that. This Ninja Lance doesn't give, like, the craziest true damage bonus, so Ruptured Sky probably does a little bit more damage. And then Surge Sparrow's fine. Null Follow-Up, of course, is fine. Attacking Speed Menace is fine, too. Maybe, like, I was going to say Desperation, but no. Probably, like, Close Call, I guess? Because you would get damage reduction that way. And then Close Call is like a bootleg version of Kanto. So you can attack the foes, get out of the way, and then, like, reposition and dance yourself out of the way further afterwards. And then also the damage reduction you get from Close Call helps too. So I would probably say, like, yeah, Ruptured Sky and Close Call maybe. Although I totally get why he's got Null Follow-Up. So very nice unit, very nice Corrin. One of the better 4-star merge projects, actually, that we got from last year there. Alright, we got Chocolate Whispers X in the chat saying, "Hey, Itacho. So glad I finally made it to the stream. By the way, I don't know if you'll remember when we spoke once ages ago, but don't worry, I'd just like you to know you've been my favorite Fae-tuber since then." Oh my god, that's... You're gonna make me blush. Oh, come on, don't flatter me like that. Alright, but thank you very much for that very kind comment. Alright, Chromatic Aberration saying amazing voice as always. I wish. Yeah. Oh, Force is saying run Frenzy on that Corrin. That's another option. Oh. What did I do there? That's not what I meant to do. Okay, back to... Where were we? Oh, man. Because I did that, I think I shuffled, like, all the units. Now we gotta, like, re-find our place. So... Okay, well... Regardless, Superior J, that Corrin, if you ran Frenzy, you would get damage reduction and Desperation that way. So, that's probably what you want to do. Go with, like, Frenzy or Close Call. Probably help him out a lot. And then Ruptured Sky, of course. Okay, so Bio Troy up next. Here's my fear. The idea is to hit extremely hard in the enemy phase with Glacies on Retaliation. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this, but... around the time when Fear first got her refine, she was like low-key one of the super clutch options you could run in Aether Raid's offense. Because this was way back when units were like, or way back when the meta was all about fast infantry sword units. Around the time like Spurn and Close Call and stuff first came out. So you would run all of that stuff, and then her refine gives her plus 10 true damage when she triggers a special. And then you'd give her noontime so she could recover. Like, this Fear was really good at that point. But obviously the meta has shifted far and away from fast infantry swords with damage reduction being your tank unit. So not really the best idea, but I'm sure Fear can still work. So yeah, plus attack and plus speed. I would say we need a Resplendent upgrade for Fear, but... she is one of the few day one units that I think her art is still pretty good. It definitely captures how cute Fear was from FE6. Alright, so Nameless Blade, we got Glacies, Distant Pressure, Spurn, Times Pulse, and Steady Breath. Okay. Alright, now normally people would run Darting Breath here, but... I mean, do you really need Darting Breath? The extra defense is probably going to help a little bit more. Especially in the melee matchups. Okay, so Times Pulse and -1 special trigger from her weapon brings Glacies down to a 2-hit. So you instantly clap back on the counter with Glacies, which is good. And Distant Pressure. It's good. This is definitely going to kill something. I'll say that much. Her res is very nice as well, but... I don't know how many units she's probably going to be able to get through. Like, this is probably like a one-and-done build, honestly. Because she's still going to take a lot of damage. I don't think she's going to die from most enemies because she has the damage reduction. And after she gets that first Glacies off, she's definitely killing something. But the next unit that comes in that tries to attack her is going to be trouble. So... you may want to pair her up with support, like some kind of healing unit, I guess, so you could just use her multiple times. That's definitely what she wants, is a healer. Let me just see what his comments said. Okay, so he didn't mention, like, what he's supporting her with. I think Duo Hilda would be a great idea, though. Because that way you wouldn't even need to run the breath skill. You could just run something else. Like, just get more attack and speed or something. And then with... the Duo Hilda, you can also heal with Nudge or Return or Rescue or whatever you want to give to Hilda. So that's probably what I would recommend. Go for Duo Hilda for support, or any healer, I guess, works. Flame would probably work well, too. So you can get more damage reduction and healing that way. But the reason I pick Hilda is for the breath ramp on her weapon effect. Otherwise, seems pretty fine, just... gotta be careful about taking on too many foes at once with this build. Okay, so Julius98 is up next. Still looking for Catch 4 and Menace. But other than that, she's good. Primarily use her for Aether Raid's defense and PvE content. Man, the PvE content is, like, really underrated. I think units or players really underestimate how good it is to have units that are good in PvE still. Because, like, we still get tough content for PvE sometimes. Like, some of the chain battles can be difficult. some of the abyssal maps, specifically the abyssal maps where you're limited to what games you can actually use characters from. So, like, for example, Fire Emblem 6 is one of those games that I have a very weak roster from. So, whenever I have to do a limited fight with those guys, it can be tricky. But regardless, we have the Valentine Silk here. Okay, so Palm Staff, one of the better inheritable staffs that we got. I believe it inflicts attack and speed -5 on the foes. So, pretty good. Restore, Miracle, attack and speed push 4, SR Far Trace 3, and then Odd Recovery and Blade Session. Alright, so with Wrathful Staff, we are going more offensive here. This looks similar to, like, Larachel, actually. The Larachel that I run. Except, of course, instead of Palm Staff, I have Staff of Rostin. Wow, that's pretty good bulk. 41 defense and 38 res from a Staff Cleric. that's legit, man. And then with Speed Push 4, Blade Session, Speed and Res Far Trace, and Palm Staff, like 35 speed is only the tip of the iceberg with this unit. She's going to be like pushing 50 plus speed after everything is said and done. So this seems like it would work. Instead of, I mean, of course, Palm Staff is very easy to get, but you probably want to run the staff that we got on the orphanage guy. What's his name again? Saul from FE6. I forget the name of his staff, but it basically like inflicts all stats -6 on the foe, or it gives you all stats up 6. Let me just double check that. Alright, so the Minister of... I love that they're calling him the Minister of Love, of all people. Alright, so Observant Staff, that's what it's called. So if unit is in 3 spaces of 2 allies in a support partner pair-up, grants all stats up 6 to unit during combat, and nullifies foes' bonuses during combat. Yeah, that is incredibly cracked compared to what the Palm Staff does. Now, this dude is seasonal locked, obviously, so I can understand why you don't have that staff available to give to her. But whenever it comes around again, that's definitely what you want to go for, I would say. And then maybe like Return Plus or Rescue or something. The movement assists that also heal are so powerful. So just some food for thought, but otherwise very solid. I have no complaints with anything else. Alright, we got Tegan Fucitelli up next. That's a very fancy name there. Fucitelli. That's like a mafioso name. Very powerful. Okay, saving on orbs for a hero rises, but I can't wait to go for the +10 on her. Still kicks butt as is once she gets Blazing Wind looping. Only really invested in her since I thought her voice lines were funny, and I don't really take the game seriously anymore. I mean, you and me both. Oh, Kath. Okay, so right out the gates, Kath already. I think Kath is going to be on the Hero Rises banner too as a demote, right? Because the Kath banner... When does that Idun banner expire? I believe as soon as the Idun banner expires, then Kath should be fair game on other banners. And I think the Hero Rises banner is going to come out like just in time to have Kath on the pool there. So can you imagine like sniping green on that banner? The green focuses are already so crazy on a Hero Rises, but then the 4 stars are really good too. So we have Kath, we got Balthus, we got Basilio. The list just goes on and on why that banner is the best banner in the game. But yeah, man, okay, nice to see Kath here. Kath is very good stats, and also she has double super boons in attack and speed. So we got +4 flowers there. Barb Shuriken. We got Reposition, Blazing Wind, Life and Death 4, Special Spiral, Times Pulse, and Life and Death Seal. Seems pretty good to me. I mean, like the poster said, like Tegan said, once you get Blazing Wind looping, then this is like death for the enemy. There's not really much they can do to stop you. So, really, it's just a matter of how you're going to get that first Blazing Wind to go off. And there's many ways to do that. So, you can run, like, Infantry Pulse, or you can run Duo Crom, the gay Crom couple, to reposition and get special ramping that way. Pair her up with Summoner or player support with Valoria. Like, there's just any vast number of ways you want to get the cooldown reduction on her. And then you probably wouldn't even need Time's Pulse at that point. You could run something better. It all just depends really on how you plan to get the first Blazing Wind, but after that, you're pretty much good to go. I feel like I'm missing something here. What am I missing? So Blazing Wind is at 3 hits, right? So when you proc Blazing Wind, you hit the foe once automatically to get the KO, and then Spiral chain loops it. Okay. I don't know why. For some reason, I was thinking like you needed Flashing Blade on this, but nah, you totally don't. This is exactly how you want it to be. Alright, next up we have Snailicorn Guy. Okay. Here's my Carla. She is definitely one of my favorite sword units. Alright, let's take a look. Alright, so Carla. A unit that I have no idea why she's so good in Fire Emblem Heroes when she was a complete nobody in Fire Emblem 7. Alright, in the chat we got Teresa Nguyen saying hello. Hey Teresa, how you doing? Alright, Teresa also says that banner expired. So the Idun banner is over. Like I said, that just means more value to the green snipe on Hero Rises, because you can pick up copies of Kath on there. Yeah, dude, that Hero Rises banner is so crazy, and people are still talking like, oh, green sniping is not going to be that good. Just wait till the banner drops, and then you're going to see how crazy it actually is. Like, some of these people, they just have no idea. But they will see by experience. Alright, so Carla's Vassal's Blade. I have no idea what this does anymore, so let's bring it up. If I'm not mistaken, Carla, she gets like some kind of true damage effect. I believe her weapon was like Giga Excalibur when it came out. Okay, so accelerate special trigger. If unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, gets attack, or rather gets speed up 5 to unit and deals damage during combat equal to 15% of unit's speed. Also, at the start of combat, if units, or if the foe's HP is over 75%, gets attack and speed up 5, and also null follow-up. Okay, so we get true damage, we get attack up 5, speed up 10, and then null follow-up and -1 special trigger. Alright, seems pretty legit. So we got plus attack and plus speed IVs, +2 merges, and +6 flowers. Alright, so Dragon Fang, Surge Sparrow, Spurn 3, attack and speed Menace, and Flashing Blade 3. Okay. So the plan obviously is to ramp into Dragon Fang. Spurn, the combo of having damage reduction and null follow-up is great. This is like a kind of like a side grade to Marita almost, because she has -1 special trigger and true damage and null follow-up. That was what made Marita so good when she came out, was that you could actually run null follow-up and damage reduction in her B skill. So this Carla is like basically Marita, pretty much. I don't know if you want Dragon Fang, though. That's the one thing. Might make a little more sense to run something faster. Unfortunately, she doesn't get Regnal Astra or anything like that. So, like, what special would you even want to give her for a 3-hit? It's pretty tough to call. Yeah, because her defenses, you don't really want Bonfire or Rupture, or not Rupture Sky, Bonfire or Glacies there. Yeah, she's kind of in an awkward spot for the special, but like otherwise this would work. we need more specials, man. We need to start seeing more, like, 3-hit cooldown specials. They gave us Blue Flame, and that was it. So I think it's about time we get a little more of those. Because this unit would work really well with a better special than Dragon Fang. Yeah, otherwise, there's not really much else to comment on. All these skills seem like they'll work fine. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I can't really think of anything else. Okay, so we got Brups up next. Let's see, how many more we got? Okay, just a couple more, and then we'll hop over to Discord. I know the Discord people have been waiting, because we got a lot to go through over there. So, just a few more on YouTube, and then we'll move over. Okay, so Brups says, Brave Ephraim was one of my favorite units when he came out, and he's been my go-to ever since I finally got him plus 10. And made him fast, too. Okay, Brave Ephraim, that dude definitely ate well with his refine. Okay, so Brave Ephraim. Oh, we're doing this, huh? Hardy Fighter and Near Save with Escutcheon. Yeah, you gotta run Escutcheon, right? Because I don't think he has -1 special trigger. Let me just double check that. I don't believe he had -1 special trigger, but no harm in making sure. Alright, so grants attack up 3. If a bonus is active on the unit, makes a guaranteed follow-up attack, and neutralizes effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks. So he negates wary fighter effects or impact effects, and he gets a guaranteed follow-up. Also, at the start of combat, if his HP is over 25%, he gets all stats of 5. And if he deals damage to the foe, he gets back 7 HP. Alright, pretty legit. So he's getting all sorts of, like, healing. He's got damage reduction. He's got near save. He gets a double attack as well, which is pretty good with all the speed that we're seeing here. So ideal 4 and then attack and speed form. I'm not sure, like, where you're getting the blue bonuses from. Probably one of your other allies. So that's fine. Plus speed and plus res for the Ivy choices there. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is going to work out pretty good for near saving. I don't really think there's too many bad matchups. Like, not a lot of units for near saving have effective against armor. It's more so like the ranged threats that have been spamming that lately. Like the Mikaya units and stuff like that. I guess there's Thor, though, right? Thor has effective against armor. And the new Idun as well. That Idun has effective against armor. That's pretty nasty. Yeah, but otherwise, I don't really think there's anything I would change here. It all depends on who you're supporting him with, because you could run a breath skill to get Escutcheon to activate more often. But I don't even think you need to. Yeah, that seems pretty fine to me. Just stacking attack and speed, and then he gets the guaranteed follow-up anyway, so, like, they can't stop him with impacts or wary fighter. Damage reduction, healing, near saving. He does, like, everything you need a near save unit to do. So, seems fine to me. Not really any complaints. Well, okay, maybe Kestrel stance, so you can inflict guard on the enemies. I love having guard on the units that have near save or far save, so you can deny the foes of having specials. So, like, Kestrel stance, that's really the only suggestion I have for that. Alright, so we got Ace up next. So Ace says, she was the first unit I got to plus 10, and she's also one of my favorites from Fates. Alright, so what do we got here? Oh, the melon herself. Dude, they knew what they were doing when they drew this artwork. Tell me her, like, bra does not look like it has watermelon seeds on it. They're like saying, here you guys go. They're the melons right there. Alright, so Kagero's Dart. We got Rally, Attack, and Defense Plus. Ruptured Sky. Colorless Duel Infantry 4. Null Follow-Up 3. Attack and Speed Menace. And then Blade Session. Hats off to the Yuri that died for this Kagero. I am, of course, in full support of killing all Yuris to give better units his skill. Because, I mean, come on. Yuri, he's like one of the most played out units in the game right now. We're all sick of seeing that guy. So, nice to give the investment to a better, more fan-favorite character, I guess. Alright, I believe she gets 30% DR when she initiates with this weapon. And then, like, attack and defense. Let me just double-check. Alright, Magic Mayro saying, nice-ass build. That's probably what we were talking about with the F-ROM there. Luke Sandstorm asks if Attack and Speed Menace messes with Ruptured Sky. Kinda does, yeah, because you would lower their attack with the Menace, right? Whereas Ruptured Sky wants the foes to have high attack. So yeah, that is true. You probably don't want to run a Menace with Ruptured Sky. Okay, so Kagero's Dart. If she has higher attack than the foe, she gets attack and speed up 4. Dagger 7, of course. And then if she initiates combat, she gets 50% damage reduction. Okay, that's a little bit better than I thought. For some reason, I thought it was only 30%, but 50 is really good. And then 36, 42 for defenses and 51 health. She's going to survive. The Infantry 4 comes in clutch here, because you're getting 5 HP and then 2 to both defenses there. And then attack and speed as well. This is like one of the rare instances where the stat bonuses from the level 4 dual skill actually is pretty good to have. So that's nice. Alright, Null Follow-Up, Attack and Speed Menace, and Ruptured Sky. Like they said in the chat, the Menace kind of hurts Ruptured Sky a little bit. So maybe run a different special there. Maybe like Moonbow or Glimmer or something. And then Blade Session, of course, the highest attack and speed boosting Sacred Seal. I don't really have anything else to comment on with this, because you're getting, again, the damage reduction plus Null Follow-Up combo, which is super powerful. The only thing I'm, like, concerned about is that I'm not, like, sure how hard she's actually going to hit. So she's definitely hitting the foes twice, but they could probably survive. That's the bad thing. Like, she doesn't seem to have a lot of stopping power. Maybe run a different special. I think Kagero has good res. Maybe you could run, like, Iceberg or something. Let's just take a look at her stats. Alright, so 22 defense, 28 res. Okay, 28, not like the craziest, but certainly workable. Certainly with the 42 base that we're seeing there. So, I'm not sure how you would, like, charge into it, but Iceberg would definitely hit a lot harder than Ruptured Sky on this build. Maybe, like, Iceberg and then Times Pulse or something would give you the same, like, cooldown cost as Ruptured Sky. Just some food for thought there. I'm not honestly too well versed in using Kagero. Even since like day one. She was a day one unit and she was pretty popular. Because Poison Dagger was the only weapon with effective against infantry. So a lot of people were running Kagero originally when the game came out. But I wasn't. So I don't really have much to comment on her as a unit. Other than, my god, they gave her some big baps there. Very good resplendent art. Alright, so we got Captain 206 up next. What is this icon? Is that a Dunsparce using Surf? Okay, that's legit. Alright, started as a meme build when he came out, but stacking damage reduction with his weapon, B skill, and Flame or 2 has been too much fun. Has become my primary Summoner Duels captain. supported by Joint Drive Speed Samartana, and Sabotage Speed Plumeria for maximum speed control. Alright, let's take a look. Oh, this dude. He is so underrated. Oh my god. When Nemesis came out, people were sleeping on this guy so badly. They see Dark Creator Sword with that once per turn effect for the damage reduction. They're like, oh, this sucks. It's only once per turn. Bruh. Nemesis was really good when he came out. The only downside to him is that they cucked him out of getting a super boon. So 160 or 176 was his BST. He only gets +3 from all of his stats. So it's impossible for him to score in the 180 bin, which was the only downside to him. Otherwise, this guy goes hard, man. His artwork is awesome too. I love his artwork. Okay, so we got Dark Creator Sword S. It gives him like 45% DR and then inflicts attack and speed or attack and defense -6 on the foes. We got Ruptured Sky, Kestrel Stance, Spurn 3, Rouse Speed and Defense 4, and Darting Breath. This is exactly the build you want to give him. Now, he's a little bit slow. 34 speed, we're getting 6 from the Rouse, we're getting 6 from Stance, and then 4 from Darting Breath. So what is that? 6 and 6 and 4. 16 and then +34. That's 50 speed. Not bad, but certainly not as good as it could be. He's getting a lot of DR, though. So we have Spurn and his weapon giving a lot of damage reduction. His weapon does attack and defense -6, so that's like +6 defense to both defense and res. Yeah, I mean, this will work. For sure. But I feel like you might want to build his, like, probably build his defenses a little bit more. Because even with 50 speed, the fast melee units are still going to be able to double this guy. So, like, Brave Erica, for example, she nullifies guard, and then she's easily going to be able to double this Nemesis. And she has damage reduction too, so she can survive the Ruptured Sky on the counter. So I think what you want to do is build his defenses a little bit higher. That would probably give him a better chance to live certain things. So instead of Kestrel Stance, maybe like Sturdy Stance 3. Maybe even Steady Breath instead of Darting Breath as well. Like, just buff up his defenses as good as you can. That's like the only thing I can think of, though. Because the general idea of this build is actually quite good. It's just that his speed, his base speed is not, like, really there for it. But a very awesome unit. Love seeing this guy getting some mileage there. Very nice. Alright, we got Sanchino Plays in the chat saying, how do I send a unit? Okay, so the way that you do it, we stopped actually taking requests for tonight, though, because we have so many to look at. But I made a community post, and then I told people to send me stuff on Discord. So that was how you send it in units before. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it for next time, but I will let you guys know. Maybe on Twitter. Maybe you guys can just, like, tweet me on Twitter all the units there, so we can just have one big section to look at instead of going back and forth between two things. That would probably make the most sense, right? So yeah, for next time, I'll definitely figure out a better way to do this. But until then, we have stopped taking requests for the night. Alright, Force is saying, the once per turn effect is identical to how his shield worked in Verdant Wind. Okay, that's interesting. I haven't played any paths besides Crimson Flower. So, unfortunately, I don't know too much about Three Houses other than what I played, which is not very much. But, okay, I guess if they wanted to, like, build him similar to how he worked in the games, that makes sense. Alright, next up we got Zachary Thielman. Not the hugest fan of armors, but I'm pretty happy with this investment overall. Alright, let's see it. Okay, Devil Niles, that's different. You don't see this guy too much. Plus 10 Devil Niles at plus 15 flowers and with the florets. I just love seeing this. Like, people building their favorites. That's always what I love seeing when I'm playing the game too. Like when I'm fighting people in summoner duels or wherever it is, and they're using decked out favorite characters as opposed to the meta units, they're just always feels like so much more fun. Alright, so we got Tannin Bow Plus, we got Noontime, Swap, Kestrel Stand, Savvy Fighter, RIP, OST Lucina for that. Attack and Res Far Save and Speed and Res Form 3. Okay, so Far Save Niles. Tannin Bow inflicts guard, I believe. Let me just double check that. What did who actually had Tannin Bow? What unit was it that came with that? Okay, so it was Ignatz. Alright, so effective against flying. If unit is in 2 spaces of an ally, gets attack and defense up 5. And a bonus to attack and defense equal to the current penalty on those stats times 2. So it's basically Manuela's weapon, but in bow form. Okay, sure, it's just giving him a unity effect there, which is great. So, Noontime, Savvy Fighter, AR Far Save. You know, instead of Noontime, I know how good it is to have the sustain, but like, it probably makes more sense to run a damaging special here. Because just with Tannin Bow, if he's not getting debuffed, like, if all his stats are clean, 56 attack with 6 from stance and 4 from the save. So he's at like 66 attack. That's not really like enough to power through certain units. Especially if you're playing him in Aether Raids where the enemy's got like plus 15 or plus 10 HP from the blessing bonuses. I think what you want to do is give him like Ruptured Sky or something else. Probably Ruptured Sky so he can just have some stopping power when he counterattacks. Yeah, but otherwise though, this looks pretty good to me. 51 speed, definitely a lot more workable than the Nemesis we saw from earlier. Speed and Res Form works very... I love the form skills as Sacred Seals, actually. They weren't so great as A-slot passives, but for Sacred Seals, they are very powerful, especially on the armor save units. And then Savvy Fighter, of course, for null follow-up and DR. Hard to argue. So yeah, that's the only thing I would do. Just pretty much just give him the damaging special, like Ruptured Sky or something instead. And seems like it would work out pretty well. Alright, we got Apple Draws up next. Shout out to Apple Draws. I think I saw them in the chat as well. Yep, Apple Draws is in the chat, so sorry to keep you waiting on checking out your unit. Okay, so here's my Norn, planning to plus 10 her once I have enough copies and feathers. She's a solid tank with team support. She can be really tanky with Spendthrift or Pledgian Bow Plus. I love Norn. Hopefully soon she can reach plus 10. And also building Summer Norn to plus 10 too. Okay, so a Norn lover over here. Norn is very cute. Okay, so Norn. We got Spendthrift Bow, a classic. Reposition, Noontime, Close Foil. Lull, Attack and Speed, Joint Drive Speed, and then Attack and Speed, or Attack and Defense Form 3. Plus attack and plus speed with +1 merges. Oh, that sucks to see. Probably on that feather shortage is what it is, because it's not too difficult to get merges for Norn. She is a 3-star summon, and she has been for quite some time. So it shouldn't take too long to get her to plus 10. Alright, Close Foil. Yeah, Close Foil. It's funny how Close Foil is still, like, kind of better than those A-slot passives that grant Close Counter and another stat, and then they guarantee the counter. So I'm talking about, like, Close Salvo and Close Reversal. Close Foil just aged so well. Because you get double stats up 5 and Close Counter, except against Dragon units, which, I mean, most people are not player-facing with Dragon units anyway. So this is very good still. Alright, Lull, Attack and Speed, very good for building her bulk. Joint Drive Speed, just giving her all the speed that you possibly can. Attack and Defense Form, giving her more defense. And then, you know, as good as Spendthrift is, it's like kind of... been power crept a little bit by the Pledgian bow and probably even Ignaz's bow as well, the one that we just looked at on that Halloween Niles. So you might be better off running the Pledgian bow here, or the Ignatz bow. Either one of those is going to work out. Because Spendthrift is good, but it still has the cooldown penalty where you reset your special after combat. Whereas the Pledgian and the Ignatz bow, they don't have those like detriments to them. So that's pretty much what I would say you go for there. 32-28 though, and then she doesn't have damage reduction. Like, Norn has definitely fallen on hard times. She was really good for a while though. She was one of the better merge projects. But 32-28 for defenses and no damage reduction. That's not really going to cut it in, like, against meta units today that just hit so freaking hard and they have all this true damage and all kinds of other nonsense that they do. But still very nice to take a look at Norn once again there. Alright, let's move on to Lovely Lunar Lady. Lots of L's there. Is that Leg Jarn for your icon? Alright. Definitely appreciate seeing Big Jarn there. Okay, so here's my Leg Jarn. I do eventually want to do a Gale Force and Wind Sweep build, but I've been enjoying this one a lot. I pair her up with Helbindi since I also got him to +10. Alright, so we got a Muspel Lover here. Helbindi and Leg Jarn at +10. Alright, so... Oh my god. Leg Jarn's Refine, let me just bring that up, because I remember it being pretty good. Some people were upset, though, that it didn't, like, keep her the way it worked originally, where... I think her stat ceiling was better before the Refine, but then... the Refine made it, like, more consistent or something. Let's just find that out right now. Okay, so originally she got Speed Up 3 and then 50% of the total bonuses on all of her stats during combat equal to whatever the maximum bonuses the foes have. So if the foes had +6 to all stats, Leg Jarn would end up getting +12 to all of her stats, which was a pretty crazy stat ceiling to have there. And now what it does is grant Speed Up 3 and a bonus to all her stats during combat equal to 40% of the total bonuses on unit and foe, with a max of 10. So they gave it a cap this time. Whereas, like I said, if they had all stats of 6, it was +12. Now the cap is only +10. But they made it easier because it's also counting her bonuses as well as the foes. Alright, also at the start of combat, if her HP is over 25%, she gets another all stats up 4 and neutralizes effects that guarantee the foe's follow-up and effects that prevent her follow-up. So no follow-up, all stats up 4, possibly all stats up 10, and then just because Speed Up 3. Pretty good. I mean, for as far as like stat ball weapons go, this is still one of the better ones. So we got DC, we got Wyvern Flight, Attack and Speed Rain 3, and Mystic Boost. You already know what I'm going to say about the B skill there. You want to feed her one of those new Marias to get that new B skill. Definitely going to be a lot better for her than Wyvern Flight. Also, Attack and Speed Rain, probably go for like a hold skill when we get that. I think Attack and Speed is probably the best combo because you're raising her bulk and raising her speed with that. Yeah, she doesn't really care too much about adding damage because her weapon just gives her so many stats, it doesn't matter. And then Bonfire too. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. Like I said, just get a copy of that Maria so you can give her the new B skill, and then once we get it, you can give her the hold skill as well for attack and speed. But a very nice unit, one of my favorite OCs in the game, so great to see her built up there. Alright, and finally we are at the end of the YouTube section, so we got Kurokami over here. Nice, this is going to be a fun vid, presenting my Valentine Alphonse. Originally had no intentions of building or even getting him, but he didn't miss a single green stone in the Valentine banner until he was at +7. when his streak was broken by his dad. Thought I might as well summon for the final copies, and here we go. So, Alphonse has been a mainstay on my Aether Raids offense team since, and is surprisingly effective. Tanks most duo lifts and legendary Lilinas with ease. Okay, so we got a green tome unit that's just beating the hell out of these red tome units. Let's see what's going on with that. Okay, so Amity Bloom's very good weapon. Gives you attack and res up 5, I believe, or it inflicts attack and res -5 to the enemy, something like that. And then you get 4 HP recovery when you deal damage. So a very solid weapon there. All right, we also have Aether, Distant Defense 4, Crafty Fighter, Attack and Res Far Save, and Distant Defense 3. So yeah, I mean, with 45 defenses, yeah, this is like gonna be an impregnable unit there. He cannot be touched from range attacks. Like, what range unit would even be able to beat this guy? Because he's stopping their bonuses with distant defense. What is distant defense for? Like, +8 to both defense and res. Same with distant defense 3 is +6. That's already +14, man. And then the weapon gives him another 5. That's disgusting, man. He's at like 60 defense and 60 res after everything is said and done. And then Far Save gives bonuses too. Good lord, man. This is Alphonse. And then, of course, Crafty Fighter inflicts guard. Yeah, it's pretty hard to, like, say anything bad about this build. It's gonna work for sure. Maybe instead of Aether, give him, like, a faster cooldown or something, but it doesn't even matter. You just support him with Duo Hilda if you've got her. And then Duo Hilda also provides healing too, so that's one of my favorite units to run with Save Ball armor skills is Duo Hilda as a support, because you just get the even recovery heal, you get the nudge heal, and then you also get the breath ramp and possibly the duo skill too if they don't have duo's hindrance. So, yeah, very awesome Alphonse, the Toga Alphonse, great to see. Alright, so we're done with YouTube finally. Alright, now it's time to hop over to Discord, and we got Meat with this dancing dog. Shoutouts to Meat, of course. Alright, let's take a look at this Garen. This will be the first unit we look at from Discord. Alright, let's see what the chat is saying. Alright, we got Nyctophilia. I don't know what Nyctophilia is. Nyctophilia, huh? Is that like lover of insects or something like that? I'm actually kind of like curious what that means. Let me know what that means. My guess is like you love insects or something. Okay, I submitted mine on the community post, but I understand if you don't have time for it right now. Yeah, we took a look at a lot there, and we have a lot more to go. We got like 30 plus on Discord, so yeah, unfortunately submissions have expired at this point. But anyways, we got a +10 Garen with the refine. This guy definitely ate well with his refine. So, plus attack and plus speed. We got Dragon Fang, we got Life and Death 4, Null Follow-Up, Attack and Speed Menace, and Mystic Boost. So, what does he do again? He inflicts attack and defense, or attack... Wait. What did he inflict? It was attack and something -10 to the enemy. Might have been attack and res. Let me just bring up Garen real quick. Okay, so... Garen... Okay, no, it's not double stats. So he gets attack up 10, and then he inflicts attack -10 to the enemy, and he's got guard. And of course, he gets like all the chip damage at the start of turn 3 and 4 with the healing too. And people are really going to sleep on how good that actually is, especially in summoner duels, I think. Like, taking 13 chip damage on 2 separate turns is no joke. This guy, he's definitely got a lot of potential. So, Dragon Fang, Life and Death, like we said, no follow-up. Mystic Boost for more recovery and just to give the middle finger to adaptive damage, I guess. I don't know if I'd go Life and Death. I mean, it is nice to get the visible stats. Like, it just shows you where the stats will be, but he doesn't really benefit much from having visible stats. So, probably go like Ideal 4 or Solo 4 or something like that. Maybe even like a Stance 3, a double Stance level 3 would work. Null follow-up should be fine, I guess. Yeah, Null follow-up will definitely work, especially in the Edelgard matchup against Brave Edelgard. And then Attack and Speed Menace. Yeah, that's probably the way to go. Yeah, he's getting back 5 defense and res if you ditch Life and Death, so he's at 40 in both, which is great. You could probably even run, like, damage reduction on him. Like, give him Dragon Wall or something like that. Or even, like, Dragon's Ire is good, too. You could run Dragon's Ire instead of Null Follow-Up, or... What's the one that the Halloween Sothis has? It gives her, like, 20% damage reduction and then 20% bonus damage after that. That's a really good one, too, for the Beast skill. You get damage reduction and damage. So, there's a lot of dragon skills right now, actually. So, a lot of options for the Beast skill. Mystic Boost should be fine. I don't have a problem with that. A Dragon Fang, though. I don't know if you want Dragon Fang. He can't have Ruptured Sky, though. That's the bad thing. They stopped the dragon units from getting that. So there's not really too many other options, honestly. Like, you go Bonfire or Glacies, I guess. He does have both the defenses for it. Yeah, but otherwise, this looks pretty fine. Just ditch Life and Death 4, I would say. And Garen, man, I actually want to, like, low-key build this guy. I think we've gotten a lot of free copies of him already, so... It would not take that many Heroic Grails to get him to plus 10. So I might actually invest in this guy and try him out. He seems like he'd be fun with the refine now. So, okay, there we go. Meets Garen. Let's go ahead and... What we're going to do, we're going to start a little bit lower here. So, the people down here, they asked first, and we have quite a lot to go through, as you can see. Alright, so we're going to start off with Ernie the Wise. He sent me his Nina here. So, Nina's refine... Dude, Nina's refine was so cool. I wish they would do more refines like Nina's. Because look at the icon there, too. Oh my god, I just noticed that. The icon is like Nina spying on... Who would she be spying on? I guess Crom and Robin, right? The gay duo. So yeah, there's Nina blushing while she's thinking about gay Crom, Yaoi Crom, and Robin. Alright, but her weapon was really cool because it fit the character so well. I wish they would do more refines like this where it's very personalized. But anyway, Spy Song Bow, we got Dead Eyes, Sturdy Impact, Lull Speed and Defense, Times Pulse, and Attack and Speed Solo 3. Really good stuff, man. Oh my god. Let me just double check what her weapon does, because I don't remember. But she needs to be like within a couple of spaces of allies that have a support partnership, I think. Alright, where is Spy Song Bow? Okay, so -1 special trigger. That's very good with Deadeye. Effective against flying, of course. If foe's defense is greater than or equal to res +5. Deals +7 true damage. Okay, so she hurts units with higher defense than res. Like Brave Hector, for example. Also, if unit is in 3 spaces of 2 allies with a support pairing, she gets all stats of 6. And also deals damage to the foe. When she deals damage, she gets back 5 HP. Alright, so what do we got here? 7 true damage, all stats of 6, -1 special trigger, and 5 recovery. So we're doing a lot there with Spy Song Bow. We got Times Pulse with Deadeye with the -1 special trigger. Very good. Like, legit, she actually is going to be a good partner with the Duocrom, because he can reposition her and then insta-charge Deadeye for her. So, like, believe it or not, the Yaoi Crom is one of her better partners, I would say. Yeah, because the instant Dead Eyes just clap so hard. Really hard to tank that. And then Sturdy Impact, when she's getting all stats up 6. Very good idea there, I would say. Lull speed and defense, and then attack speed solo. Yeah, this is a pretty good build. I actually have no complaints about this at all. I like the combo of... Like, see, Sturdy Impact works when your weapon is, like, so well-rounded like this. Like, she gets the recovery, she gets +6 everywhere, so it doesn't hurt as much that she's not running a speed-based A-slot passive. And then the lull speed and defense is great. You can get the instant Dead Eyes, like I said, pretty easily, so... Yeah, very awesome unit there. Very nice to see Nina at +10. And again, I would love to see more refines that are very personalized like that one. With the icon, too. That icon, man. Good lord. Okay, so we got Dark up next. Okay, actually, Dark... Dark messaged me asking if he could send a unit in, and then he didn't send the unit even when I said okay. Alright, so unfortunately for Dark, he missed out there. That's like, that reminds me, this one time I was in high school, they came on the loudspeaker to give an announcement, and the vice principal, he came on and he was like, prepare for an announcement. And then that was it. That was the whole announcement. He didn't say anything else. So it's like, why didn't you just announce what you were going to say right there? Why did you have to say all of that? I don't know. Stuff like that is just really wonky. Okay, so poorly made with this Pachirisu icon there. Okay, so he sent 2 units in. I mean, we got so many units to look at. I'm only going to pick one of these 2. So we got Ashnard and we have Wallheart. I think I want to look at Wallheart because his refine was the most cracked one out of that batch. Maybe what... I mean, dude, Ashnard still has the makings of a great unit. One of my favorite Grand Hero battles that we've gotten, and he is my favorite final boss in Fire Emblem. So I can't wait for his refine. But anyways, we got Wallheart here, Walmart, with his low prices. Alright, so Wolfberg, we already know this weapon is nuts. We got Luna, we got attack and defense solo 4, speed and defense near trace 3, speed smoke, and then defense and res solo. So this build is very, like, well-rounded, I would say. He's getting, like, stats to every point. Speed smoke is gonna help his speed a little bit, I guess. Interesting. He's only at +2, though. I guess the feather drip feed, or... Well, not just the feathers, but the Heroic Grail, too. Gonna take a while to get him up to +10. Okay, so the trace skill, I think, is a good idea. Near trace is, like, the ideal B skill to give to all the melee cav units. Attack and defense solo 4, I would say, is also probably the way to go. Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe you could run the catch skills on this guy, because if I'm not mistaken, his weapon effect where he inflicts flash counts as a penalty on the foe. Let me just double check. So, like, if you were to have his weapon effect inflict flash, you could activate the catch bonuses that way. Alright, so he gets defense up 3. If he's in 4 spaces of foe, he gets all stats of 6 for 1 turn. If he initiates combat or he's not adjacent, he inflicts, or, no, he gets another all stats of 4, so that's +10 to everything. At start turn, inflicts attack and defense -7 on the foes in 4 spaces, and inflicts flash. And then at the start of combat, if all that wasn't enough, he also inflicts attack and defense -5. Like, they just gave him everything. He just does so much on this refine. But yeah, you would be able to run the catch skills easily on him. The flash effect and also the stat debuff will trigger the catch effect, so you would be able to get the maximum buffs from that. I would probably ditch speed smoke at that point for something else. You'd probably give him a menace skill too. So what does he inflict with his thing? Inflicts attack and defense -7 on foes in 4 spaces. You could probably give him, like, attack and speed menace. So he could raise his attack and speed, or, like, speed and defense menace. The secondary debuff, though, is, like, kind of redundant with both. Because his weapon's already debuffing, and then you don't need the menace to debuff at that point. Or you could give him a Rouse 4. Oh, that's probably the way to go. I would say give him a Rouse level 4. So he gets Null Panic. Because the first part of his weapon, where he gets... If he's in 4 spaces of a foe, he gets all stats of 6 for 1 turn. That would be a blue bonus, right? So getting Null Panic on that would be great. But then again, that also makes the bonuses from the Rouse 4 redundant. So you'd only be getting the Null Panic out of that. Yeah, it's kind of awkward. So, like, all the good skills that you would want to give this guy, his weapon's already doing, like, half of this stuff. So his weapon just does everything, man. Or you could give him, a feud skill, probably. So, like, green feud or colorless feud or something like that. Probably green, well, yeah, probably green feud, I guess. So he has natural color advantage on blue units, and then he kind of has color advantage on green units that way, because he has, like, -4 infliction on all their stats. It's just some food for thought. Like, I'm not really too sure what the optimal skill would be to give this guy in the C slot. But I do think you want to catch skill for the A slot. And then defense and res solo, I don't really think he needs res. Unless you're fighting a dragon, but he can inflict flash on them anyway, so it doesn't matter. Probably go with, like, attack defense solo or attack speed solo or something. Maybe even attack speed catch, so you can, like, raise his speed a ton. And then because he has the flash effect, if you're relying on that, then all you got to do is hit the foes twice and they can't do much. So the bulk you don't really need as much. But there's a lot of... Oh my god, there's so many ways to build this guy with his refine. One of the most cracked refines we ever got, for sure. So awesome they gave it to a GHB unit. Alright, we got Jam up next with a Seiros. Okay, as a free-to-play player, this is easily my greatest accomplishment in this game. She's one of my favorite characters in Three Houses, and I was so bummed when I found out you couldn't play her in the Silver Snow route. By the way, love the vids, keep up the awesome work. Well, thank you very much, Jam. The kind words are always appreciated. Alright, so Seiros, what do we got here? So, Aurora Breath, we got Ether, we got Distant Counter, Dragon's Ire, Tag and Res Menace, and Steady Breath. So, of course, she's a defense mythic, so I might actually, like, recommend some defense skills to give her. So, you guys already know I like running the Tempest skills on Seiros, because the bonus 1 movement catches people off guard all the time in Aether Raids. So, like, Odd Tempest or Even Tempest are definitely options for her. Dragon's Ire is good. Certainly a good enough option to keep. She comes with Dragon's Wall already, so that's a nice one to have in the pocket. But I also think you could go with the one that Sothis has, where you get 20% DR and then 20% bonus damage. So, definitely a lot of good skills for dragon units. Distant Counter, of course, makes a lot of sense, but you could also go with the skill that Legendary Fa has for the +5 res on top of DC. And then Steady Breath and Aether. Makes a lot of sense. But, yeah, I mean, if you're running her, like, as a general unit in all the modes outside of just AR, then, yeah, this will work for sure. The Menace skill is nice. I don't know if I would keep Steady Breath. Well, I guess sure, but, like, you give her other things, too. She is a very tanky unit, so, like, maybe what you could do is give her a quick repost as the seal and then run Dragon's Wall for the B slot. Or if not Dragon's Wall, then the thing that Sothis has, which I can never remember what it's called. I think it might be like Dragon's Wrath or something. So you get 20% DR and the bonus damage. And then for the special, you can give her pretty much whatever you want. Aether is fine, though, if you're keeping the breath skill. Or you could go with, like, Iceberg or Bonfire. She has the defenses for both. So, it's just, like, the sky's the limit with her. Lots of good options. It depends mainly on where you're playing her, I would say. But very awesome. Shoutouts to the free-to-play homie getting her to plus 10. So, that is nice. Okay, we got Magnetic up next, and let's just take a quick look at chat. Okay, so Shadow Warrior 117. Hey, Tacho, just noticed you're live. Have you had the chance to see my Brigid yet? I don't believe we looked at a Brigid yet, so no, we haven't. But we may be coming up on it, because we are still looking at units. Alright, we got Crash Bandicoot. Hi, Bandicoot Kisses. Man, I love Crash Bandicoot. That was my game growing up. Like, I grew up... My first console was a PlayStation 1. I had Super Nintendo, but it wasn't actually my console. It was my sister's. So, my first console was PlayStation 1. And my jam was Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, Parappa the Rapper. Like, all those early games for PS1. That was, like, my thing when I was a kid. Alright, so we have here a New Year Heir. Alright, so we got Courtly Fan, we got Reposition, Moonbow, Mirror Impact, Wind Sweep, Joint Drive Speed, and Blade Session. Seems pretty stock standard. You got Courtly Fan for the null follow-up with Wind Sweep combo. You got Mirror Impact, you got Joint Drive Speed. This will work for sure. If you're running Mirror Impact, like, Mirror Impact seems a little redundant. Well, not really. Because if you're attacking ranged enemies, Wind Sweep stops the physical threats. But then the magic threats would still be able to counterattack you. So, actually, yeah, Mirror Impact is pretty good here. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to comment on. It's going to work. It's very, like, orthodox in what it does here. So, very nice New Year Heir there. Alright, let's move on to Lucky up next. I'm going to try to go a little bit faster so we can get through all of these because we have a lot. Alright, Lucky, he did the thing that the other guy did where... Or actually, no, he probably didn't even realize I friended him, so... Alright, unfortunately, Lucky missed out there. Alright, so we got Sputnik up next. Alright, we got two options. We got Petrine or we got Summer Norn. I think I'm going to look at the Petrine unit here. Alright, so another one of these good Grand Hero battles. Always nice to see. Like, Petrine is, of course, a character from Tellius. So, one of the four riders, one of my favorites. Alright, we got Lanza de Fuego. So what is that? Lance of Flame? Flame Lance, whatever. Flame Spear. We all know what it does. Effective against Beast, and then she gets attack and speed up 5 or something. And I believe -1 special trigger too. Let me just double check. Yeah, it's pretty tough keeping track of all the weapons now. There's just so many. Alright, so Flame Lance. Speed up 3. Oh, she doesn't get -1 special trigger. That sucks. Alright, but anyway, she got speed up 3. She gets adaptive damage. I remember that. That's pretty clutch. And inflicts speed and res -5 on the enemies. Okay, so... I don't know what special that is. What language is this? Is this Italian or is this Spanish? I actually don't know what language this is, guys. Let me know in the chat what language this is, but I don't know what the special is there. Assalto Impetuoso. That's my terrible impression of Spanish or Italian. Impetuous Assault. What would that mean? Like brash assault? Well, no, it's a special. I don't know. Like, what does this translate to? Let me know in the chat, guys. All right, we got Zeshato in the chat. What's up, my man? Shoutouts to Zeshato, of course. Okay, Josue says it's Aether. Okay. Impetuous Assault is what Aether translates to. That would not have been my first guess. Okay, sure. All right, we have attack and speed solo 4. Then we got speed and res, whatchamacallit, speed and res lull. And then we got attack and res menace there. Okay, no sacred seal. Very interesting, but not difficult to give her blade session or attack speed solo. So that's fine. You guys already know what I'm going to say. You could probably just go for speed and res Kanto instead. Like speed and res near trace would be the better way to go than the lull skill, I think. And then otherwise, like the A skill is fine. Yeah, everything here seems fine. I don't know if I would keep Aether, though. She's not really ramping into it, and she doesn't have -1 special trigger. So I would probably go like Gale Force or something else. With the Kanto, you get so many more options with if you plan to use Gale Force, so that's the thing. She can run Heavy Blade, too. Like, you could do Kanto, Heavy Blade, and Gale Force. That would be one combo. Defense and res are okay. So, like, Bonfire would work, I guess, but... Actually, you'd probably go Ruptured Sky if you want a damaging special. Because then she's going to clap the beast units really hard. Like, Fallen Edelgard is going to get killed by this unit. So, just a couple of changes, but certainly one of the better Grand Hero Battle units that we got. So, nice to see Petrine there. I wonder when she's going to get her refined. She's definitely one of those Grand Hero Battles to watch out for when she gets a refine. Alright, so we got Organic up next. Or not Organic. Organic Ink. Okay. Alright, the power of Green Egg Plus. So we got here a Summer Sylvain. Alright. This guy was a Forma. Yep. So we have the Forma Soul Sylvain there. Decked out pretty well. That's nice to see. So we got Green Egg Plus. We got Attack and Speed Catch 4. We got Speed and Res Far Trace. Attack Res Menace and Blade Session. So very orthodox build there. Green Egg was... whose weapon? Was that Bunny Camilla's weapon? Hold on. There's no way. Green Egg... like, Bunny Camilla's weapon does HP up 4 and that's it, right? Let me just double check that. Yeah, it is Bunny Camilla's weapon. Okay. Wow, that... Green Egg doesn't even have a refine? Are you for real? Hold on. There's no way they haven't refined Green Egg. Okay, yeah, like I thought, they have refined it. Well, it didn't get a special effect, but... So, if unit attacks, recovers 4 HP. Is that for every attack that you do, or is it like... Okay, so here it says, unit recovers 4 HP after the battle, if they initiate, and then over here it says, after combat. Why did they change the wording of this? It's like so weird. Okay, so here it says, after the battle you recover 4 HP, and then here it says, after combat, if you attack. I don't know, man. There's no consistency with the way that they word things. You gotta be a lawyer, man, to keep up with this game. It's so dumb. Alright, but regardless, Bunny Camilla's weapon, that was the last thing I was expecting to see on this Sylvain. So he recovers 4 HP, and then does nothing else. Okay. Alright, attack, speed, catch, speed and res, far trace, menace, and blade session. I mean... yeah, it probably looks good. It probably has a cool sprite and a cool animation. But you're probably better off just going like Plegian Torch or Amity Blooms or any of the better weapons that we have for Green Tomes. There's so many. Yeah, probably the Plegian Torch makes the most sense, I guess. Yeah, especially with the cat. Or Plegian Torch focuses on the enemy's debuffs, right? So that would combo with attack, res, menace, and the catch skill. So yeah, basically just give him Plegian Torch and that's about it. But I do appreciate the Green Egg support there. Alright, we got Sky Guy up next. Alright, hey Tacho, big fan. Thanks for all the reviews on the units. Well, that was a while ago. more than a while ago, like a while and a minute ago. But we are getting back into it. I'm submitting my +9 Sonya for a review. Any thoughts on the build would be great. Currently, she does pretty good, but doesn't always get the win. Hopefully, this is my last merge that I need on the banner. Okay. So, Sonya, another one of these, like, really good resplendent artworks. Man, she is killing it in that Moose Spell attire. Very good. Okay, so we got Dark Excalibur, of course. Very good weapon. We got Glimmer, Life and Death 4, Special Spiral, and Pulse Smoke. No Sacred Seal, but it doesn't really matter. I would say, if you're going to run Special Spiral, it probably makes more sense to run a Blazing Special on her. And then you could give her, like, Quicken Pulse and Times Pulse. And with Quicken Pulse and Times Pulse, I believe she insta-charges a Blazing Special, and then... Hold on, let me see if she has -1 Special Trigger. I don't believe that weapon has it, but might as well just double check that. Alright, so gets +10 true damage when you trigger a special, and then start turn 1, you get -2 special cooldown count. Yeah, okay, so maybe not use the Blazing Special then. Okay, he's probably on the right track. Because without -1 special trigger, you would need, like, Flashing Blade to keep that in effect. And I don't know, maybe it is worth it, though. Like, run Flashing Blade, get... Or even Heavy Blade, because her attack is probably better. And then the Blazing Special, you would hit them, you would ramp right into it, and then Special Spiral would get you back into the Blazing again. And then for the C skill, you could run... Well, yeah, Pulse Smoke is actually pretty good for the matchups where you're fighting save units. Yeah, I don't really think there's much else to comment on here. You could go, like, Ruptured Sky, I guess, instead of Glimmer. But her attack is pretty good, so Glimmer definitely has value here. Or if you want to go higher cost, you go Iceberg and Times Pulse. But Times Pulse doesn't really play nicely with Special Spiral. Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility with her. It depends really on what special you plan to run. But, like, Glimmer, Ruptured Sky, Blazings, Iceberg, Glacies, they're all on the table for sure. It's just pretty much whatever you want to go for. Dark Excalibur is a very good weapon. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to Kaigun up next. Okay, we got Marita, very old school unit. Hey Tacho, I saw that you're doing a unit review on YouTube. Here's my submission, keep up the fake content. Alright, so Marita. We ain't talked about her in a long time. The OG, like, best sword unit in the game for a very long time. So, Marita's sword, -1 special trigger, all stats of 5, null follow-up. I'm never gonna forget what that does. Alright, then we got Noontime, we got DC, Spurn 3, Pulse Smoke, and Speed and Res Solo. This is the classic Marita build. Remember when she was a threat in Aether Raids? Like, she was the only super tank you needed. And she would just bait everybody because she has null follow-up and damage reduction. Oh my, how the game has changed. Okay, but obviously Distant Counter has been power crept by the Distant Counter with 5 res. So you probably want that. If even keeping Distant Counter. I mean, you're probably better off right now running Close Call and then, like, another A skill that raises attack and speed. Like Surge Sparrow would be an option, or... Yeah, I would probably go Surge Sparrow, actually. Surge Sparrow, Close Call, and then attack speed solo. Definitely keep Pulse Smoke, though, because Pulse Smoke... If you're attack... Like, if you have her as a melee threat, and you attack the foe in Summoner Duels, and you're attacking with melee, so they can't use Far Save with, like, Fiorm or Brave Hector or whoever, and then you just clap them with Pulse Smoke, so you give them the middle finger to... their freaking hardy fighter charged specials, and then your range unit can just come in and get rid of them. So yeah, I would play her a little more offensively now than as a bait unit like we saw back then. But she still holds up very well. She's still, like, She was so overtuned when she came out that she just is probably not going to age out for a very long time. It's just that the way you play her is different now. Okay, we got Danielle P. Dune here, 2018. Not sure if I'm saying that right. Okay, for unit reviews, my first Cavalry plus 10. Super happy with this build, despite the sacrifice of Brave Erica. Okay, so we got Petrine here. Another Petrine. Alright, we got Hanako in the chat saying, by the way, this PCMG guy is a bot. Okay, so let's take care of that guy. What's the deal with these bots, man? Like, where are they coming from? There's just so many bots. Like, is that what people do with their time? They just spam bots in YouTube chats? Like, come on, man. Get a life. Okay, but there we go. We took care of the bots, so let's take a look at this Petrine here. Alright, we got Flame Lance, we got Rally Attack and Speed Plus, we got Ruptured Sky, Surge Sparrow, Lull Speed and Res, Attack Speed Menace, and Attack and Speed Solo 3. All very good, but again, like we saw with the other Petrine, I would say go for Speed and Res Far Trace. Or, I mean, Speed and Res Near Trace there, so you get Kanto. And otherwise, this works pretty well. Ruptured Sky with effective against Beast is very powerful against Edelgard and the new Idun as well, too. Like, people run that Idun as a near save unit. You could just get rid of her on the spot. So, pretty nice. Definitely a good unit. One of the better GHBs that we've gotten. Alright, we got Emu up next, but Emu didn't send a unit. They just sent the request. Alright, so Easy Corrin is up next. Wanted to send my Black Knight. I'm thinking of giving him Savvy Fighter and Kestrel Stance. Thanks for the unit reviews. I really enjoy your vids. Well, thank you very much, Easy Corn. P.S. Might have accidentally sent you a friend request. Sorry, that was not my intention. I'm new to Discord. Nah, you actually had to send a friend request to do this because that's the only way you can, like, DM me. But don't worry. For the next one, I will be a little more prepared. Okay, so Burger King with his Alondite and Black Luna. Black Luna has aged so gracefully in this game. It's crazy. This is still like, you get hit by this, you're basically dead. So it's, and it combos nicely with like Savvy Fighter. Savvy Fighter was very good for this guy particularly. So very nice to see all of that. Alright, we got Rally Speed and Defense Plus. We got Black Luna, Attack and Defense Unity. Attack and Defense Near Save, and Steady Breath. Basically, exactly how you want to play him. Just swoop in with the Near Save, protect somebody, clap immediately with Black Luna, and that's it. That's GG. So, not much to comment on. This is the perfect build for him. Especially with the Unity skills, so they can't, like, penalize you, or if they do, you're just turning it into bonuses. So, the perfect build for this guy. Maybe dragons could do a lot of damage to him. Like, the new Idun is blue, and she has effective against armor. So, she would target his res and probably one-shot him before he gets to activate Black Luna. But other than that, this is going to work out so well. Very great unit there. Alright, we got Hati up next with a Vika. Okay. One of my favorite characters from Tellius. If we're just talking about, like, designs and stuff. Vika's a very well-dressed lady. Okay, so here's a build for the unit review you posted in the community tab. On another note, is it possible to send multiple units? Well, it was possible, but because we got so many to look at, we're only doing one per person. Also, with that Pokemon Legends icon there, gotta love that. Okay, so Vika. We got Ebon Pirate Claw, Reposition, Iceberg, Attack and Speed Catch 4, Dive Bomb, Speed and Defense Rain, and Blade Session. Wow, that is a fat res stat. Oh my god. Vika with the thick res, dude. Look at that. 51 res? What is going on? Okay, so her weapon, if I'm not mistaken, her weapon was a sabotage effect. Let's just double check what it does. I believe she sabotages 2 stats. It was like attack and speed or something. Let's find out. Alright, grants res up 3. Start turn if any foe's res is less than unit's res and that foe is adjacent to an ally. Inflicts defense and res -7. Okay, so she's got basically sabotage defense and res. And then also at the start of combat, if the foe has 75% health, she gets attack speed and res up 5. Kind of awkward they wouldn't give her the defense up 5 for combat. Like, I can get why she's debuffing res with the sabotage effect. But when she's in combat herself, like, res is not doing anything for her. Also, at the start of turn, she transforms if she's by herself or adjacent to other dragons and beasts. She has +1 movement and attack up 2. Okay, so seems pretty fine. The catch skill, very nice. Combos with her weapon well, because she has the debuffs there. Dive Bomb, also very good. Speed and Defense, Rain, and Blade Session. I mean, this is going to work rather well, to be honest. There's not much... Okay, maybe you can run Kanto. I'm going to say this for every melee, flying, or cavalry unit. You could run Kanto as an option. But Dive Bomb hitting twice in a row is very good. Did she have -1 special trigger? No, she doesn't. Okay, so... The icebergs are going to hit really hard with her. But unfortunately, without -1 special trigger, she can't just, like, use it immediately. This is going to sound weird, but I feel like she doesn't have enough stopping power. Like, she's going to hit him twice with Dive Bomb, but without an easy way to access her special, it's not going to, like, kill them outright. So you probably want to support her with units that can get her special cooldown reduction. So, like, Groom Raphael is a good option to support with her. Also helps her transform. And there's also, what's her face? Valoria, who gives -2 special trigger. There's also Gay Crom, who has the reposition ramping there. So as long as you can cheat your way into Iceberg a little faster, I think this is going to work out just fine. But before she gets to the first Iceberg, it seems like it's going to be a little up in the air if you can just, like, tear through things pretty easy with her. Alright, very good unit, though. Alright, we got Ava up next with the strongest unit in the game, like 2 years ago. So we have a Bride Mikaya. Hi there, saw your community post, and I was wondering, how would you rate my Duo Mickey build? Alright, Duo Mickey. We got Joyful Vows, we got Glacies, Sturdy Impact, Mystic Boost, Pulse Smoke, and Defense and Res Bond. So, Sturdy Impact is good. I'd probably go Attack and Res Solo 3. Pulse Smoke is fine. Although, probably benefit from some other things more. Yeah, like, what would you give her? Like, I hate to say this, but you could give her, like, Green Dual Feud or Green Feud, so she has color advantage on Ascended Fiorm, kinda, with the -4 to all Fiorm stats. You give her Joint Drive Attack. That's probably, like, the most orthodox thing to give her, Joint Drive Attack. You could also give her Menace skills, like Attack Res Menace. That would work out pretty well. And there's also, whatchamacallit. I actually had something like a good one I was going to comment there, but I lost track of what I was going to say. A Mystic Boost is fine. You could go Lull. Actually, she can't have Lulls. She's a flyer. So you could give her, like, Attack and Res Far Trace, which would be good. Yeah, because they gave a lot of good flyer skills, but most of the good flyer skills are locked away from the range flyers. So probably the Trace skills would be the best option for her B skill. And then Sturdy Impact is fine, like we said. So, yeah, this looks like it'll work. Obviously, she has the Kiss the Ring button with Dominance that she can pop at any moment. So there's not really many weaknesses to this unit. Still very powerful even to this day. Alright, we got Hanako up next. Hanako finally. Okay, so Hanako with her Midori there. All right, we got plus 10, plus 15 flowers, ascended traits, obviously. So plus attack, plus speed. Okay, we got the rainbow there, which inflicts attack and speed -4, I think, to enemies in 2 spaces. We got bonfire, speed and defense ideal 4, null follow-up, pulse smoke 3, and attack and speed form 3. Okay, so speed and defense ideal. Sure. Yeah, her res ain't really like that great, but her defense is very good. I remember when this Midori came out, it was kind of funny because her base attack was higher than Duma. And Duma's supposed to be the god of power or whatever. So adorable Midori just has more power than the god of strength. Pretty funky. Okay, but I mean, Spendthrift is good. Rainbow, I guess if you're running her more like for support. But there's definitely better bows to give her if you want her to steal the show. So Pledgian bow, Ignaz's bow, her own bow, the Spendthrift is good. All very good options. Speed and defense ideal. If you're going to run ideal, I would say run menace probably. Like attack speed menace or attack defense menace or something. So you can get the maximum bonus from the ideal skill. And then no follow-up is fine. Yeah, there's not really better options for her if you're not running close counter or whatever. And then attack and speed form, give her some more speed. Oh, you know what's actually good? Instead of rainbow, you could go with the helm bow. The one that the Bridget had that gives you lull speed and defense 5 or something. That would be pretty good if you're playing her more as a player phase option. Yeah, I completely forgot that weapon existed. So that's an option for sure. Like helm bow, I would say just ditch rainbow and give her something better. And then from there you can decide like what skills combo the best. But I would recommend the menace if you're going to keep an ideal skill. Otherwise, this is fine. So shoutouts, of course, to Hanako for all the help over the time on the server where Hanako was a mod. All right, we got a set of Voltaire with 2 units here. All right, we got a Finn and we got an Ira. We're going to look at the Finn because I feel like we don't see Finn too often. All right, Finn was also a option for the Formasol, but this guy didn't take the Finn. Respectable. I mean, we didn't really know there were going to be Formasols when Finn... I think Finn was like one of the first rounds before the Formasol came out. So we had no idea with this guy. Okay, is there a bot causing trouble in the chat? Oh my god, the bot is back. Jesus. Get out of here. YouTube needs to, like, get on the bot annihilation, man. I don't know what the deal is. It seems like lately these bots have just been everywhere. In other live streams I've been to, too. Okay, so it seems like I've been missing a bit of context for some of these units. So, Ludger said he had context for his unit. Let's see what he said. Real quick, I don't want to, like, skip over anything. All these goddamn bot posts are, like, clogging up the chat. It's making it hard. Oh, man, I can't find my place here. Alright, my bad, man. Luger, I can't find the context for your units. Sorry. But, okay, either way, let's move on to Finn here. I think for the time being, I've gotten rid of the bot. So we got Finn at +9. Loyalty Spear, which has a triple lull effect, if I'm not mistaken. He's got Swap, Moonbow, Attack Speed Solo 4, Speed and Defense Near Trace, Attack and Defense Menace, and then Attack and Speed Attack and Speed Solo. This is perfect. There's like absolutely nothing that goes wrong here. Maybe you could run the Catch skill on him because he's got the Menace skill. That's like just about it. Otherwise, this is... I think this is like as good as it gets for Finn. Yeah, just the combo with the Menace, run the Catch skill, and that's pretty much it. Or you give him Ruptured Sky, too, instead of Moonbow. Yeah, his 55 base attack, that's looking a little bit low. Maybe Ruptured Sky to use the foe's attack would be a little better. But very nice Finn. Don't often see this guy built up. That's why I chose to look at him instead of the Carla. Alright, so we got Super Mario Daiki over here with a Mikaya. Okay, this is the OG Resplendent Mikaya. Alright, so we got Danny with the Refine. We got Mirror Impact, Lull Attack and Res, Pulse Smoke, and Mystic Boost. So, pretty typical standard build you would run on Mikaya for Aether Raid's offense. Maybe instead of Mirror Impact, you run like Mirror Stance 3 or Attack Res Solo 4 or something like that. But Mirror Impact works. Now, I believe she gets a guaranteed follow-up as well. Let me just double check. I used to have her weapon memorized, though, because I used to use her all the time, but... Okay, so effective against armor and calves, of course. Res up 3. If foe uses a ranged weapon, she gets 30% DR on the first hit, which is good. And if her HP is over half, she gets attack and res up 5, and she makes that guaranteed follow-up. Okay, so all very good. You know what I like doing with Mikaya? Because she has Sacrifice, it's very easy to cheat her into low health. So I like running like Desperation and Brazen Attack and Res on her. And then I would sacrifice myself into Desperation range and then hit the foes twice in a row and get rid of them. But that's probably not necessary with this build. You can... I'm pretty sure she has a good matchup against most things. It's a little better running her to bait, though, I think. Yeah, because, like, player phasing with her, as good as she is, she can't really bust through Brave Hector or, like, Ascended Idun and the Ascended Fiorm. Like, classic far save options are going to be able to wall her out now. That's the one bad thing. But, yeah, I would say probably play her more bait style now. Instead of Mirror Impact, just go like Mirror Stance 3 or something. Attack Res Unity. Attack Res Solo 4. Attack Res Ideal is so many options. But a very good unit. Definitely one of the better plus 10 projects to go for. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to Darius up next. Okay, Darius didn't send us a unit. Okay, Prince of Celeste. Hey, sexy. Alright, he's using my intro there. Okay. Seeing that you were doing unit reviews, wanted to submit my Levin. Planning to give him Attack and Speed Ideal 4 and switch out Blade Session for Flashing Blade when I get the fodder. Okay. Really? You would go double Blade Session on him? Oh, no. Planning to give him Attack and Speed Ideal 4. And then I'm guessing he'll switch out Blades. Yeah, okay, so that's what he meant. So Flashing Blade for the seal. He's going to run the Ideal 4, and then he'll be cooking at that point. This guy has built-in Desperation instantly. Let me just, like, double-check what his Refine did. So I know he has Desperation, and then he gets, like, Attack and Speed up 4 twice. Something like that. Okay, so he gets Speed up 3. He gets Attack and Speed up 4, and he gets Desperation. Also, he gets another Attack and Speed up 4, and nullifies penalties to Attack and Speed and bonuses to the foe's Attack and Speed. So he gets, like, a lull effect and also a... almost like a Unity effect, but he's not turning the penalties into bonuses, just nullifying them. Pretty good. Attack and Speed up 8 with instant Desperation. When he has Flashing Blade, he's going to instantly proc a special. Times Pulse with Luna is going to work pretty good. Yeah, this seems pretty good. Null follow-up also, so you could just Desperation them to hell and back. So, yeah, pretty strong. Definitely, once you get the skills you wanted to give him, that's, like, basically all he needs, pretty much. And he's going to be good to go. So very nice seeing Levin there. My favorite mage from Fire Emblem 4, by the way. Levin and Seti, both of them. Or not. Yeah, Levin and Seti. Seti is his son, right? I get confused because they named the weapon Seti, I believe. And before it was like whole Seti. Now it's 4 Seti. So the old translations, this is problems with playing the game from so many years ago. Is that now that they've changed the translations, it's so different. Alright, we got Fiora with, hey Tacho, thanks for accepting. Wanted to submit my Eldigan for the unit reviews. Okay, we got Heldigan over here. We are playing the perfect music, by the way, to take a look at this guy and his awesome artwork. Still to this day, I would say this is the best art in the game. I mean, come on, it's Castlevania Eldigan. You can't go wrong. So we got Dark Mistletoe. So he's going with Ares Refine as opposed to his own. We got Bonfire, we got Quick Repost, Tag and Defense Catch, Defense and Res Menace, and Bracing Stance. Alright, so Dark Mistletoe, the way that people usually play that is with Vantage. So you go for the Vantage Bonfire thing. And then you'd run like Brazen Attack and Defense, but... Interesting. Okay, we're not doing that necessarily. And that's probably for the better, because I think Ares probably does that build a little bit better. Let me just take a look at Eldigan. Okay, so Dark Mistletoe. So you get -1 special trigger. If special triggers before or during combat, grants special cooldown count -2 after combat. Okay, so he could run Blazing Specials, possibly. Foe initiates combat, or if foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, grants attack and defense up 5 to unit, and deals +7 damage when special triggers. And if the foe's HP is over 75%, deals another 7 damage. Okay. +14 true damage, attack and defense up 5, -1 special trigger, and special spiral. Like, goddamn, that's a lot of effects there. So a very strong refine. Bonfire is the special for sure. QR, so he's playing him as a bait unit then. Bracing Stance. You get the Menace skill to gain defenses. Probably instead of Defense Res Menace, go like Attack and Defense Menace. So you can gain some more power. Yeah, otherwise this looks fine to me. Maybe also instead of Quick Repost, you could go for Lull, Attack, and Defense. To get a little extra bulk and then also guarantee that he survives the first attack the enemies do. Because I'm pretty sure he's going to clap him with a Bonfire so hard, it's probably just instant death. So having the Quick Repost double is like a moot point at that point. So... yeah, those would be my recommendations here. Just give him Lull, Attack, and Defense, and then Attack, Defense, Menace. Otherwise, nice to see a build on this guy not using Vantage, though. So, Heldigan there. Very good unit. All right, we're getting there. We got quite a few more, but we are making progress. All right, so Mattioli. There's no way I said that right. Forgive me, my dude. Hey Tacho, here are 2 characters not very much seen to choose from. I am waiting for an Arete. Rerun for the final merge. And never mind, flyers are too big. Or files are too big. Okay, so we got Sonya and we have... this man is a man of culture. Mattioli, you are my kind of dude. We got 2 thick mamas here to look at. So we got Arete and we have Sonya. Who are we going to look at here? Man, this is a tough one. I think we'll go for Arete because this is like the least seen unit I think I've ever seen fighting. I have actually seen 1 or 2 Sonyas before, but I've never seen Arete. So, okay. We got Luminous Grace. I don't even know what that is. Let's check that right now. What in the world is Luminous Grace? Okay, so Scion Julia's weapon. Start turn, recovers 10 HP. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants attacking speed of 5. Okay, so you get, like, renewal 4, I guess you could say, and then attack and speed up 5. Does she need the healing, though? Like, alright, we got 40 res. She can tank res decently, I guess. And the healing is nice with push 4, I guess. Yeah, so it's okay. For a red tome, it's okay. There's probably better options, but... like, off top, I guess Henriette's weapon would be good. The effective tomes would be pretty good, too. Like, the one that's effective against cavalry. But let's take a look here. So we got attack speed push 4. We got lull speed and res, joint hone speed, and blade session. Okay. So... yeah, pretty good. You could go far trace on her if you wanted. Speed and res far trace, but it's not necessary. Joint hone speed. I mean, you probably run like joint drive speed instead. Or a menace skill, or any of the countless number of crazy skills we've gotten. Green Feud would be pretty good too, because she has color advantage on Ascended Fiorm, and then she might be able to power through Ascended Fiorm if she has Green Feud. Because she locks out Fiorm's support partners, and then also inflicts all stats -4 and has the color advantage. Could be interesting. But yeah, I mean... otherwise, this seems fine. Iceberg is definitely the way to go with all that res. It's just, like, the weapon, I think you could probably get something better. And the C skill as well. Otherwise, like, this looks about as good as it can get for a Reet. Unfortunately, they didn't give her a perf weapon, which sucks. And they didn't make her a singer or a dancer either. I've never played Fates, so I don't know if she's a singer in that game, but we all know Azura is, so... they really should have gave Mama singer dance. Alright, we got Wovination. Didn't send a unit, unfortunately. Alright, so we got Lasco. I like this. Incineroar with Garfield's head. Okay. Yo, Tacho. I got the units to review here. Pick your favorite, pal, and hope you have a righteous day. Alright, thanks, Lasco. So we got Kalik, and we got Larichel. Shoutouts to Glitter, of course. So who do we want to look at here? Larichel or Kalik? We just looked at a Cavalry Tome unit, so I guess we'll go for Kalik this time. Alright, Kalik's a pretty awesome unit. You know, this guy kind of reminds me of Sensui a little bit from Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, his hair is just literally Sensui's hairstyle. I just made that connection just now. This guy looks like Sensui. Alright, if you guys have seen Yu Yu Hakusho, that's like possibly my favorite anime of all time. So a very good show there. Alright, we got Plegian Axe, we got Aether, Defense and Res Solo, Lull Attack and Defense Menace, and Speed and Res Solo. So a very bulky boy here. Plus speed and plus defense for the Ivies. Okay. Alright, Plegian Axe, of course, very good. Combos nicely with the Menace. Defense and Res Solo 4, and then Speed and Res Solo. So what is he looking at for Res? Is there even a point to building him with Res? Like, seems like it would make more sense to focus on, like, attack, speed, and defense. Because the only thing he gains out of Res is when he's fighting dragons. Or, I guess, helping him tank mages a little better. But, I mean, without distant counter... if you're running a far save unit, then... already that would negate the need for Res anyway. So, I would probably cut the Res... probably just go, like, attack and defense or attack and speed. Or even speed and defense. Lull attack and defense is fine. Aether is fine. Yeah, this looks fine. I mean, there's not much to comment on other than the res skills just kind of being random here. But a very awesome unit, of course. I was very close to building Kalik to plus 10 until they added Baltus and Basilio, and then I was like, well, I might as well just build them because they score higher and they basically have the same stats. So RIP to Kalik there. He was very close to being my next merge project at one point. All right, we got Soul Wave in the chat saying, what up, Tacho? This is my first stream I've ever been to or ever been able to catch. Happy to be here. Are you just having people DM you the units or something else? All right, so before we were doing YouTube for the community tab, but then we finished up in there, so we moved on to the Discord units that people sent me. So we've stopped taking submissions for now, but I will do this again next week, and I will have a better way for people to submit units, so don't worry about that. If I don't get to your unit or you wanted to submit a unit this time, then we will get that taken care of next week. All right, we got Michael in the chat saying, I see what should I do in the meantime to progress the fastest. I already collected Edelgard and Gatekeeper as my first free summons. Okay, I take it Michael is a new player. So what you want to do, Michael, is save all of your orbs for the Hero Rises banner and summon on only green orbs. Just hit green like a madman, and you will walk out of there with some good stuff. I guarantee it. Okay, so we got Ignis over here with the Seliph icon. Very nice. Here's mine for now. Like to submit it, or I'd like to submit him tomorrow when the Resplendent becomes available, if that's okay. Yeah, so we'll take a look at this. Bear in mind, this guy is going to have the Resplendent bonus, so all stats up 2. Alright, gotta love that SP bonus there. We got quadruple 7s. This man just hit it big at Vegas. Alright, Divine Turfing, very good weapon. We got Reposition, we got Soul, we got Distance Stance, we got Null Follow-Up 3, Defense and Res Menace, and then HP and Res 2. Interesting. Okay, HP and Res 2. So he has a neat little 40 res there. See, I could have understood like why you were going HP and res if you had like Vengeance or what's the other one? Retribution to gain damage, because he has the miracle effect on his weapon, right? Wait a second. Is this... Hold on. There's 2 different turfing weapons. One of them gives you like attack and defense, and then that one is Sigurd's weapon, while this guy's gives you the miracle effect. So I don't remember which is which. Let's just go ahead and double check that. So Divine Turfing. Is that the one he's got? Yeah. Okay, so... Alright, I didn't want the one with plus attack. I wanted to see the effect refined. Okay, so you get res up 3. Start of combat. If unit's HP is over half, you get attack and defense up 5. Foe uses magic, then 50% DR on the foe's first hit. Start of combat. If foe's HP is over half, you get another attack and defense up 5. And a guaranteed follow-up. Okay, so he's not running the miracle one. He's running Sigurd's one, where you get the follow-up, attack defense up 10, and 50% DR on magic. Very nice with distance stance there. That's a nice combo. Alright, Soul for recovery. You got defense res menace, null follow-up. Pretty good for a bait option like this. I don't really think he needs HP and res 2. There's certainly better options to go for. I would probably say like speed and res solo, or maybe even attack and res solo, because he doesn't... I mean, speed would help, because he has null follow-up and the guaranteed follow-up, so you can like force a speed check and then possibly beat them. But I would probably just go attack res solo on him. Or even like defense and res solo is an option too. Or attack and defense solo, because he's getting 5 res anyway from his ace skill. So there's like so many ways you can customize his Sacred Seal. And then defense and res menace, yeah. This is like one of the rare builds where I would say this is good for the unit in particular. More so as a, like, normally if you run this, it's for support to help other units benefit. But this guy wants both defense and res, so it isn't a bad option for him here. Yeah, this seems like it would work. I don't really have any complaints about this. Pretty good build. Just pick a better Sacred Zeal. That's all I can say. Alright, also he's going to get the bonus stats too from the Resplendent. So that's going to be nice to see on that guy. Okay, hey, I'm Solar, by the way. Nice to meet you. This is my submission for the unit review. The world's best Guinevere. Okay. Build looks wonky, but with a Spectrum +6 from Tactics, Elamine, Thor, and her natural speed, she has access to a 60+ power Glacies on every retaliation, without the fear of getting doubled naturally. With 30% DR and 62-87 defense stat spread, she's able to easily handle even the most direct counters. I have her consistently tank Duo Dagger, Duo Hinoka, Ninja Corrin, and this is obviously with a near save unit protecting her. That sounds pretty nuts, man. If you put it that way, I mean, I ain't got nothing to say about it. Okay, so Areola, Glacies, Distant Defense 4, Special Spiral, Pulse Smoke, and Speed and Defense Solo. That is dirty as hell, man. So you got you're getting the ramp effect from support from Thor. And then with Special Spiral, like, you just always clap the foe with Glacies on the counter. That is going to delete everything, man. There's no way to survive that. And then she's got effective against Tomes, which is crazy. She nullifies Dragon's adaptive damage, which is really good in those matchups. DD4, do you need DD4? Wait, who are you support? Okay, so you support with Elamine and Thor. Elamine grants bonus defense and res from her passives. You're not getting guard, though. Like, that's one thing maybe you want to get. Yeah, but, okay, Distant Defense 4, though, is helping her against bow units. I was going to say, like, possibly run Mirror Stance 3, but the defense does help in the bow matchups, so that's probably better. Especially against Duo Dagger. If you can shut down Dagger's stat bonuses with this, then her weapon effect gets really, like, cut down from that. So, yeah, this is probably the way to go. And then Speed and Defense Solo just to get some more defense against the bow units. This is pretty nuts, man. This is a really good Guinevere build. Especially, like, with the support, too. Like, oh my god. Yeah, this is a unit right here. This is probably, like, the best unit we've looked at tonight or something. I don't know. I would not want to fight that in Summoner Duels, honestly. Alright, so shoutouts to Solar for that. Okay, Ludger. We finally got up to Ludger. He was in the chat a minute ago. I don't know if he's still in there, but... Okay, if you do this regularly, I will be happy to show off all my units at some point. Yeah, we will do it regularly. I'll try to do this once a week. But we're starting off with the Resplendent Florina. This is my current Florina. I took her Lance to opt for Rider's Bane. As she does not counter Brave Hector, may as well have other units do that. She's used in Arena Assault and Summoner Duel S. She is paired with Legendary Hector to guarantee the win against Brave Erica. As I know she should not be running Granny's Shield, this Florina actually barely gets the kill on +10, +5 Brave Erica on player phase, but guarantees the kill on enemy phase, as she will rarely run guard in the B slot. I run Attack Refined Rider's Bane because any other version of the Refined does not get the kill. Hope to show some more in the future. Okay, so very interesting. Rider's Bane, effective against Cav. Very, very good effect, obviously, on a lot of units. So, we got Attack and Defense Solo 3, Attack and Defense Near Trace 3, Speed and Defense Rain, and another Attack and Defense Solo 3. So, lots of attack and defense. And we got the Trace, of course, Speed and Defense Rain. Yeah, so, I mean, in Summoner Duels, this is going to be pretty good at catching people off guard, because most of the people that melee in that mode just use Cavs to do it. So we're talking like Sigurd, Legendary Sigurd, your Brave Ericas, Legendary Ericas, all of those Kanto Cav units for melee, that's what people run. So having Rider's Bane on a bait option like melee unit is pretty good. And then you could easily support her with a far save unit like Brave Hector or something. So she's not a sitting duck against ranged units. Seems pretty good. And then the Trace skill too is going to work out pretty well with Rider's Bane. So there's like nothing wrong with this. It's very, very optimized for the modes that she's going to be playing in. Very nice artwork too. I haven't really like appreciated the artwork glow up that Florina got. But they managed to do a cute version of a Hell attire here where she has like the heart shape on her chest. I think that was a really nice touch with her. Because I wouldn't have expected Hell for the attire for Florina at all. And somehow they made it work. They made it really cute. So very good. Definitely way better than the artwork she had originally. So very, very good stuff there. Very nice build. Specifically for the modes you're playing. Obviously you could go solo 4, but it's only a 1-point difference. So who really cares? Alright, so thank you Ludger for that. Alright, we're coming up to the end almost. So we got Wanpei here. Hey Tacho, I'm a big fan of your channel. It gives such a chill vibe compared to the other channels that I enjoy. Okay, thanks. I mean, I try to be chill. I don't take the game too seriously, but I'm still pretty competitive about it. So I don't like to lose, but also it gets to a point where if I gotta do a lot of thinking to win a fight, I'll just be like, alright, whatever. I'll just surrender or play sloppy. It's not a big deal. So, I mean, the only time like I really play to my full potential is if I'm playing another like famous YouTuber or something. That's what really gets me going. That's what I like to do. But if I'm just playing randos in 8th Arrays, it's like whatever. I'd rather lose a fight in 5 seconds than win the fight in 30 minutes, you know? Alright, so here's my dagger build that I use mostly for 8th Raids on occasion and occasionally on Arena. With high scoring skills, since she scores decently. Yes, she does. Okay, I use Swift Sparrow instead of Attack and Speed Push because she's quite bulky with her B skill and summoner support. So not having the chip damage is actually really good for tanking every once in a while, yup. I don't know if you want me to explain the whole build like some people in the subreddit, but let me know if you do. I mean, you don't have to. It's pretty easy to like deduce what people are trying to go for with their builds if you see how the skills mesh together. Alright, greetings from Bolivia. Shoutouts to Bolivia. Pretty awesome. Okay, so let's take a look at this dagger here. Dude, Dagger is... Those abs, man. Dagger is... She's got all Tina beat with that ab situation. Good lord. Them Jotnar women be eating their vegetables or something. What do I have to do to get abs that crazy? God damn. Okay, so Skin Faxi, we know what that does. It's like Fallen Ike's weapon, basically. We got Moonbow, Swift Sparrow 3, Sun Twin Wing, Joint Drive Attack, and Darting Blow 3. So the way that people like to play this unit is by giving her Gale Force, and then they keep Even Tempest, and they give her Flashing Blade for the seal. But that's obviously not a necessity. So Moonbow, we got... She's playing like more offensively here to player phase. She does have a decent enemy phase though, that's the thing. Like, Swift Sparrow is certainly better than Attack and Speed Push 4 for like this type of build, but also it doesn't offer anything on the enemy phase where Dagger does have the tools to work on the enemy phase. So I'd probably say go like Attack Speed Solo or Attack Speed Unity or... Actually, yeah, Unity is really nuts on her because she has the Fallen Ragnall effect. So Attack Speed Unity is good. Or Attack Defense Unity. Probably Speed is better because she has null follow-up. Also, like... Ideal, I guess. I don't know if you want Ideal, but you could go for Ideal and give her a Menace, but it's not necessary. I would say just give her an ace skill that works on both phases. Preferably Attack Speed Unity. Joint Drive Attack is fine. Darting Blow, just use a better seal. Probably Attack Speed Solo instead, I would say. And that's pretty much it. Like, that's all there is to say. Just build her more solid, so she can, like, do good on both phases, I think, would be the way to go. Or if you want to, like, highly focus her for the player phase, then this is fine, but just give her Gale Force instead. Alright, a very nice unit there. Very nice merge level as well. Alright, we got Blitz Blaster up next. Let's take a look at the chat real quick. Alright, Lindia says Surge Sparrow would be better. Yeah, probably would for the healing, but the thing is, with Surge Sparrow, it also doesn't work on the enemy phase, where Dagger can work pretty fine on the enemy phase. Yeah, Padmawan. Okay, shoutouts to Padmawan. Dude, did you see the trailer for Obi-Wan? I saw that, like, not long before I started streaming. I checked out the Obi-Wan trailer. Dude, that show looks like it's gonna be nuts. This is what I signed up for. When Disney acquired Star Wars, this is what I wanted. Like, more stories about Obi-Wan and Anakin and stuff. As opposed to Rey and Finn and Tweedledee and Tweedledum that nobody cares about. Alright, Blaster360 in the chat. Hey, Tacho. Hey, my boy. We're taking a look at your unit right now. Okay, so we got a Brave Roy here. Very awesome. You don't see Brave Roy too often because it seems like Eliwood is the one that people build more often. Because he is free to play, or shouldn't say free to play, but he is 3-star and easy to summon. So Blazing Durandal, one of the best aging refines ever. So crazy on a cavalry unit too, that it gives them impact and it gives them special fighter. Like, that's such a good aged refine for him. You know, honestly, like, why is it that Blazing Durandal aged better than Irvon? I feel like that's true, because Irvon just doesn't work anymore because of all the units that beat damage reduction now. Like, Ike is just... you can't use Ike anymore. He's not good enough. Whereas Blazing Durandal, like, these player phase Cav units are just in a good spot because that's where the meta has shifted. So this guy, as a Gale Force unit, he's going to have, like, Kanto access if you run the Trace skills. His weapon is, like, super cracked if you're running Gale Force especially. This guy might actually be, like, the best aged unit out of that batch of Brave units. How crazy is that? Like, Brave Lucina and Ike just got power crept so badly. Whereas this guy, he's still pretty good, kinda. Alright, so we got Gale Force, Swift Sparrow 3, Flow Refresh, Hone Cavalry, and Sturdy Blow 2. Alright, so Flow Refresh is good. You get half a null follow-up and you get recovery, which works out pretty well with the impact that he gets. So he's gaining defense and speed, and then after he fights, he gets back some health. I might give him a Trace skill, but, like, the null follow-up is very good, especially with his refine. So that one is a little bit up in the air. And then Swift Sparrow is fine. Hone Cavalry, I mean, it's very good for budget, but you could definitely get better options, I guess. I would probably just keep Hone Cavalry, honestly. Especially if you're using him in summoner duels and you have other, like, Cav units on the team. This is still nice to have. And then Sturdy Blow for the seal, which is fine. Probably want a little more speed, though. You could also give him Quick Impulse so he can get the instant Gale Force in one attack. But I would say, like, maybe go for a Solo 4 or Blade Session or something like that. Yeah, and I believe the one, like, edge that Roy has over Eliwood is that his attack and speed is better. Whereas Eliwood's just got this monster res stat for some reason. And it works out really well with the swift impact he gets from Blazing Durandal. So he's getting, like, plus 10 defense, and then his res is naturally really good. But Roy, I think Roy had a better attack and speed combo than Eliwood. So, dude, Roy is probably legit with recent skills and Blazing Durandal. That's nuts, man. Poor Brave Ike. They just had to make Duolith. Like, come on. He's such a perfect counter to Ike. All right, we got Bavin over here. Support is Thor and Elamine. Far save is Zelgius. Okay, I don't know if I'd use Zelgius for far saving because the guy's res stat is paper thin. But we got Winter Rapier. Very interesting that he wouldn't go for Elondite. Well, actually, I guess the distant counter is a moot point when you're just using near save. So Black Luna, we've talked about this already. Very good. Speed and defense ideal, savvy fighter, and attack and speed form. Yeah, this works. There's not really much you need to do there. So Thor and Elamine for support. He needs -1 special trigger, though, to guarantee the Black Luna counter, right? So Winter Rapier doesn't give him that, unfortunately, but there's probably other ways you can get the -1 special trigger. Elamine doesn't do that, but like Duo Crom or, I don't know, Groom Raphael, whoever you want to use, just get -1 special trigger and that's it, pretty much. And he should be fine after that. Although I guess he's hitting twice with Savvy Fighter, right? Because he's got the speed, he's going to have null follow-up with this. He gets a lot of speed on this build. Yeah, you know, it's probably fine. You probably don't need -1 special trigger. Just get the Black Luna and that's it, pretty much. So, very good unit. It's nice to see how well, like, Black Luna has aged, that it kept this guy relevant. So, like, the save skills in Black Luna is just such a sick combo. Alright, we got the Pingu, 27, but he didn't send a unit. So, RIP. Alright, we got AA Battery, my pride and joy. Okay, so let's take a look at this Crom here. This dude, low-key Crom is one of the nightmare units to fight in Summoner Duels. His Refine, his Refine with his defense and, like, attack combo. When you do the thing in Summoner Duels where you get massive support, with, like, triple bonus doubler and, like, all stats up 6 and all that nonsense. This guy is a serious threat, man. And then his weapon gives him, like, all stats up 10 and whatnot. Crazy. Okay, so we got 68 attack, 41 speed. That's legit. 41 speed on Crom, goddamn. Alright, distant counter, Spurn, joint drive speed, speed and res solo, and noontime. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, what else do you do with this guy? The Refine is good. It gives him so many stats. I believe it gives him a guaranteed follow-up also. So, like, he doesn't need quick repost or anything. And then he's fast enough that slow units like Fallen Edelgard can't deny him of a double. Yeah, maybe noontime you could probably run a damage special, but I don't know, like, we don't know who he's using as support for his allies, so it's hard to say, but I can see this working. There's nothing, like, innately wrong with this. I would, like, noontime is the only thing I think I would change here. But a very good unit. Very nice Resplendent art, too. He definitely needed it. Okay, so we looked at Meat's unit already. So we got just a couple of more, and then we're going to hop out of here. We've been streaming for like 3 hours almost. Oh my god. And of course, in classic Tacho fashion, I haven't even eaten dinner yet. By now, it's like I'm be having a midnight snack as opposed to dinner. Alright, what's going on in the chat? Alright, we got Jean Premier. Or Gene Premier. I sent the friend request on Discord. You may not get to it. At least I'll be ready next time for unit review. Yeah, we are going to do another unit review, so don't worry if I don't get to your unit this time. Alright, Nice Knowing You says, man, every Crom is good except the Winter and Easter one. Yeah, dude, all they need is refines for the Winter and Easter one. Just give them a brand new weapon and give them a refine, and that's it. Like, hopefully they'll be good after that. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at Toon Artsy's unit. Shoutouts to the Dark Pit icon there. Alright, Savage Damage is cracked. Okay, so we got Serpentine Staff. Finally, someone is making use of that with Lucius, of course. Okay, so Miracle, Martyr, Attack and Speed Push 4, Wrathful Staff, and Double Savage Blow. Seems legit with Serpentine Staff. This one inflicts deep wounds, right? And then also a bunch of chip damage. So there's no way for them to heal off all of this damage they're taking. He's got Attack and Speed Push 4 for offense. Like, he's got Miracle as well. There's not really much people can do to stop this. It's just really good. It works. Instead of Martyr, though, I would probably go with, like, maybe Restore Plus or one of the movement assists that do healing as well. We actually got 2 of them. They were nice to give us 2 of them in the new Divine Code shop. So that's about it. Like, otherwise, this is as good as it gets for Serpentine Staff build. The only real way to do this better is if you're using it on a, like, a cavalry staff unit, so they get the maximum mobility. But, I mean, it works just fine on this guy, too. Alright, very awesome staff. That might be like a top 3 inheritable staff. And it's probably like number 1 or 2. So, very crazy stuff there. Alright, we got CYN up next, or Sin, or whatever. Not sure how to pronounce that, but... Okay, meant to be run with Bridal Catria for triangle attack. Caden for drive boosts off her bonuses, and Astrid for bonus doubler and +6 bonus giving. Okay, so... I mean, is this a unit that needs all of that support? This is like one of the best units in the game to run without support. Like, just in a bubble, this might be the strongest unit in the game still. I want to say, like, with no support factored in. So, you're giving her all of this support. Triangle attack, Caden bonuses, Astrid for bonus doubler, and +6 to everything. How do you lose with this? Like, once you get to that point, there's nothing that's going to stop you. Okay, attack speed ideal. I don't really know if that's what you want. We got Bolt. Wow. Okay, that's different. Bold Fighter instead of Armored Wall. That's new. I ain't never seen anyone do that before. Okay. Is Bold Fighter better than Armored Wall? If you're running her... Hold on. There's no way. There's no way Bold Fighter is better on this build. Let's just double check. Okay, so at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants special cooldown charge +1 to unit. Inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on foe per attack during combat. And restores 7 HP after combat. During unit's first combat in player phase or enemy phase. At the start of combat, while transformed, gets 40% DR on the first hit. Okay, so you know what it is. A Bold Fighter gives her a guaranteed double attack. And then with the speed ideal, and Blade Session, So it's an Edelgard build meant to beat other Edelgards. Oh my god, dude, really? So yeah, like, Bold Fighter still ramps into Gale Force. Attack speed ideal in Blade Session. You're gonna, like, slow armored units that rely on impacts and, whatchamacallit, wary fighter effects, like to stop the follow-up. She's got Bold Fighter to negate that, and then she beats them on the speed check. And then with all the freaking support that we're seeing here... Okay, so maybe Bold Fighter is better on a build like this, but... I mean, she's still susceptible to null follow-up. Even worse, like, null follow-up is going to hinder her even worse if you're not getting the damage reduction and the special fighter effect. I don't know if I would run her this way. And I do run her a lot in Summoner Duels, actually. But to be fair, though, I haven't ran her with, like, all this support. So, I don't know. Usually when I run her, I just run her as a solo unit and just abuse how good she is out of the box. And then I run her on a beast team with, like, Legendary Tiki for far save. I got Ash for the jump shenanigans, and then, like, a whole bunch of other beast units on there. So it's easy for her to transform and then just take advantage of the foes. But wow, man, this is something. What in the world? I have no other comments for that build, man. Okay, thank you, Sin, for that Edelgard. Okay, I'm not going to say this name. Timmy, I'm not going to say the second part just to not piss off YouTube, but... Alright, hey Tacho, wanted to hear your opinion on this old Felicia build that I made. Okay, let's take a look. Timmy. Alright, let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay, this is real old. Wow, we don't... Not even with the refined Felicia's plate. Okay. Alright, but Glacies, Death Blow 3, Poison Strike 3, Poison Strike 2, and Savage Blow 3. What is this? What is this, man? Year 1 of the game? But, of course, Glacies works on Felicia because she's got good res. You absolutely want to go for the refine on her weapon. Gives her adaptive damage and special cooldown ramping against... I believe it's against tome units? So she could get to the Glacies faster that way. The rest of this is like... I mean, Poison Strike, that's not meta anymore. At least not on this type of unit. We're not doing stuff like that anymore. So, what you want, like, instead of Death Blow, give her, like, Attack and Speed Solo, Attack and Speed Push, Attack and Speed Ideal. There's so many now. It's just pick your pony. C skill is very much the same as, like, Menace skills. There's... What else is there? Joint drives and all sorts of good stuff in there. B skills, we got lull options. Yeah, this is just way too antiquated, man. There's not really... much you're gonna accomplish with this, unfortunately. Yeah, so just get with the times and update her build a bit, and then we'll talk. Alright, thank you, Timmy, for that unit. Okay, and the final guy, we got Poorly Made. Didn't we look at Poorly Made already, I think? So, I believe we're done here, actually. Yeah, because we already looked at his wall heart, right? So there we go, guys. I think that covers everyone that's submitted within the time frame. We actually do have a couple more people that wanted to send in units, which, I mean, unfortunately, man, I gotta eat, guys. I wouldn't mind, like, doing the rest of these units, but I gotta go eat. Your boy gotta feed himself. So we're gonna call it there. Thanks so much to everybody who submitted their units, and we got to take a look at them. We had some pretty interesting stuff, some pretty interesting builds, and unique ways to run their units, like with that Edelgard. But that's going to wrap us up for the live stream tonight. I'm going to let you guys know when I'm going to do this again next week, so you can submit more units. And unfortunately, if you tried to send a unit and you didn't meet the deadline, don't worry about it too much, because we will be back again next week. So, that's all for tonight, guys. Alright, Night Spider in the chat saying, hey, Tacho, how have you been? I've been pretty good, but I'm very hungry, so I'm going to wrap this up right now so we can get something to eat. Alright, Tegan says that she couldn't pop in earlier, but thanks for checking out her unit. Yeah, no problem, man. Or I should say, no problem, sis, for the cat build. Alright, guys, that's all for tonight. I'm going to wrap this up. So, thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out with me, and thanks for sending in your units. And this is your boy, Tacho, signing out. So, take care, fellas. And I will catch y'all again next week when we do this again.